Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of The Shadow of the Silvermane with very little Silvermane edition. Last time, stuff happened, as usual. Before we get into that, the usual reminder, dear viewers, this episode is posted on Sir Thompshire's channel. The episode after that shall be posted on my channel, Teeironor. All our links are in the description below. And the one after that shall be posted on Skoll Shorties channel, again links in the description, then back on Thompshire's, and so on and so forth. Now, I've rolled some dice in the background, and well, let's see, let's ask these lovely people to, as usual, introduce themselves and their characters. The dice say that good old DoomGoblin should go ahead and introduce himself and his character first. Can you please go ahead, DoomGoblin?
Yeah, hello, it's me, DoomGoblin, and I play Captain Bladebeard, who now has a magical deck of cards, and in the last session he pulled 3 cards, and they did something. You'll find out more in the recap, or if you watch the episode. But yeah, that was fun.
And incredibly lucky for you, again, though there are some potentially very negative outcomes, and you pulled 2 positive and 1 neutral outcome. So good on you. Well, carrying on, according to the dice, we would have Zelris. Can you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
My name is Zelris, and I play Lyri Ambasaro, the blood elf with broken ribs and a ringing head after being beaten to a pulp by a dwarf last episode. And hopefully we will learn more about what she's doing in this episode. Okay, next person, bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Zelris. Next person, we would have Skoll. Can you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Yes, I can. I am playing Captain Buhd, the ogre pirate, lost in the Netherstorm and was nearly crushed to death by a Fel Reaver, but somehow survived.
That Buhd did. Thank you very much. And next we would have, funnily enough, the owner of the channel you all are watching this on, Sir Thompshire. Can you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Sure. As always, I'll be playing Benjamin Aaran, the renowned dragon linguist and future dragon tamer, as he's about to take a beautiful journey. Not necessarily atop a dragon, but close enough. So yeah, let's see his epic negotiation skills at work.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Thompshire. So, DoomGoblin, would you be so kind as to remind our viewers and everyone what happened last time?
Yeah, sure. Alright. Having ventured into another world, danger continues to hunt our party. Lyri Ambasaro, after clumsily teleporting herself back to the Inster Kingdoms, found herself in the middle of an ogre mound, in the heart of the Badlands. Because of a very unfortunate coincidence, the young blood elf was now under the magical thrall of Gamosh, the warlock half of an ogre magi, Skoll Gamosh, acting as sort of summon demon. So she was like his minion.
Yep.
As she tried to figure out a way out of her situation, Lyri was ordered to help with manual tasks in the hold, including fetching food and organizing the tribe's shinies. Eventually, she was thrown into a makeshift arena to fight against a young dwarven warrior who doesn't resemble any other character, who wounded her badly before she found herself desummoned. As for Benjamin Aaran, Captains Bladebeard and Buhd, and their companions, Tamal and Sateya, they were soon set upon by one of the Netherstorm's nether drakes. The creature, speaking in broken Thalassian, confused Benjamin, Bladebeard, and Satea with some of the local Sun Fury Blood Elves. It then demanded that the trio be taken to its roost, which was our party's goal, regardless, to face proper judgment by its peers. After a scuffle, the Nether Dragon eventually grabbed the tree in its claws and took flight. For his part, in desperation, Captain Bladebeard pulled 3 cards from the strange magical deck of cards he had received from the Nexus Lord Teeironor. The results, luckily, were either positive or neutral. The card Destiny provided a powerful undo button. Gateway opened a semi-permanent portal in the sky leading to the Blade's Edge Mountains. It's kind of in character for Bladebeard to open a portal to a zone that has Blade in the name.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Sure.
And Regalia gave the dwarf a powerful light-infused artifact. It gave him a book.
That it did.
Alright, one more part. While this was happening, Lyri, wounded all over, was teleported back to the Netherstorm. She was luckily bypassed by a wandering Fel Reaver, though, unfortunately, the same machine soon noticed the nearby Buhd and Tamal. After a brief chase, with the ogre suffering several wounds, the two managed to escape the automaton, but wounded up separated once again.
Thank you very much, DoomGoblin. One thing I didn't mention in the recap, and I'll briefly mention this now, is that the artifact that Bladebeard got gives like a once per session advantage. Basically, it covers the user of the artifact in a divine shield that lasts for the duration of the session, and at the start of the next session it can be reapplied, and the divine shield acts as a sort of advantage that the user, in this case Bladebeard, can use to like protect themselves, etc, etc. I will mention that hypothetically if like Bladebeard activates the divine shield and then the book is taken away from him, the divine shield will disappear and the person who took the book will not be able to gain their own divine shield. It's a once per session thing. That being said, well, we will get to Bladebeard later, but just to briefly touch upon it, Bladebeard, would you activate your divine shield now?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I already have it written on screen, so you will have it for the duration of the session. Thank you. Now that being said, after talking with the players off screen for a little bit, we were thinking that we should first check up on Lyri. Zelris, are you with us?
Mm-hmm.
So, what's up with Lyri? Like, you just like got desummoned after getting the crap beaten out of you, and you were sort of like lying there because you were very heavily wounded. Above board, it was enough for like a short rest, so your stress level to consequence will have gone away. But while you were resting, lying, brooding, I don't know, you got passed by a Fel Reaver, and who didn't notice you, luckily enough, and it marched away on its own business, whatever that may be. But other than that, what's up with Lyri? What are you doing?
Well, first of all, the ogre can't like hear what she's saying or know what she's doing, right?
Give me a clever with your stunt applying.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So a 7.
Nope. It's typical, not typical, it's very atypical, but it's a very atypical demonic summoning contract, but
it's typical for an ogre, right? Is that what you're saying?
More or less. But the main thing I was trying to get across is that, like, when you are desummoned, you are your own person, free to do whatever you want. There's still like a magical like tether connecting you to Gamash specifically that he can use to summon you. But it doesn't extend to like listening in on you or whatever. And honestly, I don't think Gamash would care to do that anyway.
Okay. Lyri is sitting there trying to recuperate. Mainly because she kind of had the shit beat out of her, and she's disoriented and almost dead and in the middle of nowhere. So she knows that, the worst thing she could do right now is leave. So she's just kind of sitting there, thinking about how she's gonna break this contract, coming up with plans, etc., etc.
Above board last session, I did give you the typical conditions that a warlock contract can be broken by the demon. But again, this is a very atypical contract, so you're not sure how many of those apply. I guess we did establish that, hypothetically, if Gamash were ever to take hostile action against you directly, that would violate the contract and render it null.
Yeah. Lyri has a few plans she's thinking of right now, etc., etc. That's what she's doing.
Sure thing. I'll just mention again that when you are desummoned, you return to the exact same spot you were called from. Hope you don't get picked up by another Drake and get summoned midair, I guess. But you are you will actually see on the ground the remnants of the arcane dust that you scattered to teleport yourself. It's rendered not null. What's the word I'm looking for? Sterile? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not usable anymore, the arcane dust, but it's staying there. Oddly enough, it's not being washed away by the wind, probably because of the weird properties of the Nether Storm. But you do recognize, oh yeah, this is the spot I teleport myself. And if you were to peek over your head, you'd see, oh, that's where the Ethereals were when I teleported away. They're not there anymore. And oh, back there is the Mana Forge and all the other typical landmarks.
Lyri just kind of sits back and tries to find a couple rocks to kind of rest by and hide behind.
Yeah, no roll required. Especially since you did that last session to hide from the Fell Reaver, so yeah, you do find several rocks to, as you mentioned, rest behind, hide behind, let's say. Do you, up to you, do you just stand there and continue resting for a while?
Yeah, kinda, but she has one thing she wants to do right now.
Sure.
Lyri will think to herself about all these plans, and she will decide that she might as well work on the foundation of a plan right now. So she will take off her glove and she will use her dagger to cut off one of those little talon things that are on the fingers of her gloves. The little sharp talons.
I will be honest, I'm not entirely sure what you're doing. So you're chopping a piece from your glove, let's say?
The little sharp bit, the little sharp middle bit on the end of her fingers on her glove.
Okay.
Alright. So the dust is still there from the teleportation circle, right?
Yep.
In the same place.
Yep, same pattern as well. It's just that you before it was almost glowing golden. Now it's the color of a potato, I guess. I don't know, potato brown, for lack of a better term.
Okay, Lyri will take off her right glove and use that little metal thing to kind of carve out the shape of the summoning circle thing into her hand, so she would be able to remember it because she has no paper.
Sure. Understandable. I will mention that you know that this summoning circle will lead you specifically to somewhere in the Badlands.
But just,
fairly close to where the Yoga Mound was.
But just in case, it'll probably be useful to, keep it just in case she needs to get back there.
Sure.
So she will scratch it into the top of her hand.
Funnily enough, like, if you teleport to Golgamash without him summoning you at the same time, you won't be his minion. You'll be able to act on your free will, funnily enough.
Until he summons me from there, and then...
Yeah, which is kind of funny. Like, you could be, like, 10 meters away from him, and he could just summon you and, like, teleport you 10 meters away, but then you'd be his minion. Magic works weird. Okay. Just for me to get a clear picture, you're like carving it into like your palm, your hand, or
the top of the hand, so not the palm. Just like...
Okay. It's very, very painful, but I think you would be able to...
Lyri takes off her jacket and bites into it while she's doing it to know the pain, or like not scream or whatever, so things don't come for her.
Give me a forceful, but it will be a fairly easy roll.
Okay.
It's sufficient. Yeah, it's extremely uncomfortable, but you are able to replicate the pattern onto the top of your hand.
Lyri will put her glove back on, satisfied in recording the circle. Would have been better if she had a book, but,
I mean, have you checked your bag? Maybe you had a book. I don't know.
Did she? No, because she had to... Maybe she did. I don't think she had a pen, though. I think she took the pen from the... Either way, she couldn't have written in the book if she had one, so...
Okay. Fair enough. You now have the pattern recorded, although your hand stings. But it's, like... Feeling your hand, you can tell that, like, if need be, you can, like, grip a dagger with it or whatever, it's still usable.
I know heal in like 2 weeks anyway, even without medical help. It's just a little cut.
Yep. Do you start resting? Do you do anything else? Up to you.
Lyri will just keep resting. Yeah.
If that's alright, I'd like to roll on the altered version of the random encounter table.
Sure.
Okay, which I expanded since last time, so instead of a D11 or 12, it's a D16. Fun. Partly because of the portal open in the middle of the sky.
Oh no.
Okay. As you rest, Lyri, and like start dozing off, you feel an uncomfortable presence in your mind, a familiar uncomfortable presence, well, somewhat familiar. As you hear of like someone as if speak that says, "Consume."
I can't stand these fucking void walkers. Lyri will just roll her eyes and keep hiding in the little hidey hole.
Okay.
Not dealing with these freaks.
Can you give me a sneaky, but the Void Walker will get a slightly better careful because of the weird connection you have to with the Void?
No, sure. So an 8. To a tie, okay.
Tie and an overcome means either fail or succeed at a negative cost.
Let's succeed at negative cost, it's more fun.
Okay. I thought of something very fucked up. And I'm not sure if I'm sadistic enough to do it. But I was thinking, the reason the Void Walker doesn't spot you is because a bigger enemy eats it or something.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not gonna do that. Instead... Yeah, I think the Void Walker will just, like, wander off, sort of unaware of your presence, but because of like the various interactions you've had with the Void, and also the fact that this is like an unrestrained Void Walker, not a summoned demon, the echo of like its voice continuing to urge you to consume will linger for quite a while, like an hour or so.
Okay, that's frustrating.
Yep.
Lyri kind of hearing that over and over again drives Lyri crazy. And, in that moment, she thinks she has a devious idea about potentially freeing herself from the control of the ogre. So she will, again, take out the little metal thing she took from her glove and take out her other hand, and she will think about if she can maybe write some sort of rune that might make her more conductive to magic, to maybe because if she can be drawn, if this like Void Walker can be drawn to her, maybe she can draw other magic, like, I don't know, a fireball being thrown by an ogre at her, is her thoughts.
Gotcha. The first thing that came to my mind when you were describing that was like up to Wrath it was like a spell in game, but I don't know if it still is, the Mage Amplify Magic spell.
Oh yeah, maybe. She's gonna try and think if there's any kind of rune she can scratch onto the top of her other hand that might make her more conductive to magic. So
sure. Because of the caveat that rune magic is a bit of a different beast than just typical magic, I will ask you to roll a clever with your stunt applying, but the roll will be slightly more difficult.
That's fair. It's a 5.
It's not bad enough to completely fail, like, I don't know, carve a rune that does the opposite or whatever, but you realize I don't really know a rune that does that, not off the top of your head.
Okay. Lyri will, I guess, ponder that then, because she's really solid in this idea. If she can't force him to attack her, then maybe she can think of a way to, I guess, draw his attack to her. So I guess she'll just sit back and think about if she has like any other ideas on how she can get that to work.
Sure. I know above board where Lyri's travels have taken her before, but I'm asking just for the sake of completion, I guess. Have you ever been to a Vraiku area?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Okay, then you'd have very little, if any, knowledge of rune magic.
Yeah, she just knows that she can carve stuff into things and it might work. She's assuming it works off the same logic as, I guess, basic as magic.
Can you roll me a clever with your stunt applying, but this will be easier for something else?
9.
Okay. With that roll, I can tell you, because this is a somewhat atypical warlock contract. Because you're thinking of the condition of, like, if Gamash takes hostile action against you, the contract will be broken. And that's certainly valid. Key point is intentional hostile action.
Oh, no. Yeah, Lyri kind of shakes her head, realizing that could be the terms of the contract. I might just have to go with the T-shirt method. And she kind of puts her glove back on and shakes her head. If I can't take hostile action against him intentionally, if I were to blind myself and just throw myself in his general direction, maybe stuff will turn out differently.
There's that. With the roll, I'll tell you that, like, the rule is sort of made so that, like, hypothetically, if a warlock were to summon like a void walker and get the void walker to get the attention of several enemies and then like cast an AoE spell centered on the gathering of said enemies so that the contract with the void walker isn't broken and the void walker can keep like dragging enemies into like the rain of fire or whatever. Just hypothetically.
Yeah.
Okay. The way I sort of envision the like random encounters in the Netherstorm is that like it means somewhere between like half an hour to an hour has passed of like nothing of like you just walking or just standing there, etc. So I would say with that random encounter and you thinking that probably like an hour has passed. I'd like to check up on Buhd fairly soon, but before we do that, I'd like to ask you, is there anything else you do or think about while you're recovering?
Nope, she's just thinking of ways to break the contract and wasting time.
Sure thing.
She doesn't want to like make any like mana food because she knows that things here are kind of drawn to it, so she's just gonna sit back and wait.
Sure, although to be fair, mana is pretty much everywhere around you, and also you haven't eaten today, and it's technically late at night. Oh, approaching late night.
But she'll cope.
Sure, as you wish. Shall we check up on Buhd? Skoll, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so last we left you, Buhd, you were frantically running away from a gigantic fell reaver that smushed you good in your attempt to rescue Tamal. But in the like general commotion of you getting away from the fell reaver, you and Tamal like went separate ways. You managed to shake off the thing, and you see it like patrolling in the distance, wandering in a semi-random direction, and you realize you are for the moment safe, but without Tamal. And can I get a careful to see if you realize like which cardinal direction you've traveled and so on? You are lost. You are incredibly lost. You do have like the landmarks in the distance, like the Mana Forge and the glowing sphere, etc. But you don't know where you were, like where Bladebeard and Benjamin were, where they went, etc. You're lost.
Don't know where I am. Well, I didn't know where I was before, but yeah, everything looked the same.
How are you coping with the wounds you got from getting smashed?
I'd say Buhd is in a lot of pain.
Understandable.
And I think that he was really only able to run because it was adrenaline, probably. So he's probably lumping forward if he's moving at all.
Understandable. Yeah, now that the danger has passed, like all that pain suddenly hits you. You're still able to like walk and move and fight if need be, etc., etc. It's just that you are very wounded.
Pain.
What do you do? Do you head somewhere? Do you head in a random direction or a landmark? Do you stand still? What's the plan?
What does Buhd see right now?
In terms of like landmarks or the environment, you see the Mana Forge in somewhat close distance, but still fairly far away. You see, as I mentioned, like when you guys first reached the Netherstorm, what is above board an Echo Dome, although Buhd wouldn't know that. He just sees like a glowing sphere encasing a portion of the environment. And in the further distance, Buhd would see above board Tempest Keep floating. This is like the landmarks you see. As to like other stuff that isn't landmarks, Well, not much. This is a wasteland. You see the floating rocks. You see the occasional like extremely battered piece of like vegetation that is still struggling to grow and failing for the most part. But you don't like see anything because of your role distinctive enough to really point a good like that's where I should head.
I would say Bud would head towards the dome because he thinks that's Dalaran.
Sure. As you start walking, shall we roll on the random encounter table?
Yeah. Haha.
13. Okay, this is an interesting one. Can you, how much attention are you paying to like your environment as you're going?
I think Bud has a one-track mind and is mostly paying attention towards the dome he's headed towards.
Okay, that's not good. Even as you continue walking, distracted by your wound and like by the dome in the distance, and like everything looks the same around you, you start smelling sulfur. Above board, do you know what sulfur smells like?
Really bad.
Yep.
Oh, did Bud toot? Oh no.
Would you like to take a look around to see where that smell may be coming from?
Yeah, I'd say Bud would take a look, just in case it wasn't him.
Give me a careful, please. Okay, with that, you can clearly see from the... it would be... east. Yeah, from the east. Like, what looks to be like columns of smoke rising from behind a hill in the distance. And the sulfur smell is clearly coming from there.
I'd say Bud would continue to walk away from it.
And also you would feel like there's more heat there, if that makes sense. Above board, I think I mentioned this before, but the Nether Storm, even though it's a storm, it's pretty temperate in terms of like climate. So it would be like, say, well, where you are now, Skoll, I guess. But you clearly feel heat coming from there.
Very warm. Toasty.
So do you walk away from it?
Yeah, Bud would walk away from it.
Can you give me a sneaky?
Oh boy.
Okay. You hear a sound coming from in that direction. It sounds mechanical.
Oh no, not again.
And as you would turn to like look like what that may be, like you don't feel the ground shaking or that same sound again, but you do see two fell fireballs coming your distance. Cannonballs above board.
Oh no.
How do you defend yourself from them?
I'd say Bud would try to run from the fireballs or cannonballs.
Give me a quick, please. How do you take 3 points of damage?
Oh no. Give a look-see.
I guess it would be your level 3 stress, unless you want to take level 1 stress and level 2 consequence. Up to you.
Probably level 3 stress.
Okay. So, as like the fireball explodes close to you, it doesn't hit you head on, but you can clearly see, like, from all your past experiences in the past few weeks and like your fight against Break, etc., this is someone throwing fell magic at you, but like of a mechanical kind, let's say. There's probably demons beyond that hill.
Oh no.
Do you continue running?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say Bud would continue to run away from that.
Okay. Then you will hear another shot coming from that direction, but it will be slightly more difficult for them to hit. How do you defend yourself?
I'd say Bud would keep trying to run.
Give me a quick. Yep, you do dodge them this time, and final volley as the cannons start reaching the limits of your range. How do you defend yourself?
Keep on running.
Then give me a quick. Yeah, you can even gain an advantage if you'd like, but the point is you managed to get away from whatever that may be.
Alright.
Okay. Since technically, because again the random encounters are like meant to represent like half an hour to an hour passing, I'd like to check up soon on Benjamin and Bladebeard, but before we do that, Bud, what do you do? Do you do anything else, etc., etc.?
I'd say Bud would continue to move towards the dome after that, if he can.
He can. You did receive some stress damage. Above board, you will... Stress goes away provided you have a chance to rest. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So you continue heading towards the dome. Shall we check up on Benjamin and Bladebeard?
But sure.
DoomGoblin, are you with us?
Yeah, sure.
So you guys are being flown away by the Nether Dragon. Bladebeard, you just pulled 3 cards from the deck, all with very, well, 2 positive and 1 neutral outcome. If you were to look back, like Benjamin and Bladebeard, you would see this big portal in the middle of the sky, and as you continue flying away, you probably like see in the distance some things emerge from that portal. But other than that, what are you guys doing or saying, etc., as you're being carried, well, I don't know what's the word, dragged, I don't know, by this Nether Dragon? Swooped up, I guess, I don't know. You guys are in the back claws, Satire is in one of the front claws above board.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so.
Well, you can also, if you'd like, we can also just fast forward. You guys can also just like talk among yourselves. We can just fast forward if you'd like. I leave it entirely up to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
let's fast forward.
Okay, so fast forwarding, you will see that you are approaching what looks to be like the edge of the Nether Storm. Like, if the Nether Dragon flies much further, it will literally be flying in like free space, the twisting Nether, I suppose. But specifically, it seems to be heading towards a landmark that I will place on screen. And thank you once again, Skoll, for helping with the screenshots. Basically, this lovely place that I will large, etc. in a bit. You see these crystals glowing as the Nether Drake continues flying, and as it continues its approach, you will also see other Nether Dragons like flying nearby, and they all look with interest at the one that's carrying you. And eventually Moraku, well, you don't know his name actually, but the Nether Drake will set you down semi-gently, semi-forcefully on the ground among these crystals.
Well, that wasn't a pleasant flight.
Do you say in common or Telasian?
In common.
Then Sateya will say, I concur. Why did we agree to this?
I guess we want dragons to be on our side.
I mean, ideally, sure, but these dragons don't seem friendly. As above board, they slowly gathered and circle around you and start landing around you, keeping some distance but clearly paying attention to you and sort of keeping you penned in.
Well, I guess if they really wanted to kill us, we'd already be dead.
We'll convince them to join us, to fight with us.
Sure. I don't know how much you know about dragons, dear Bladebeard.
Not a lot. Especially not dragons from other worlds.
Me neither on that particular front, but dragons, well, they've always been considered to be enemies of mankind. I don't think they are looking at us very kindly. Although that language this one was speaking didn't seem draconic to me.
Oh, they, I think it was speaking some broken Telasian.
Why?
I don't know, because Blood Elves live here? I don't know.
They do?
Yeah, in the flying ship things, right? That's what the mom was telling us.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, not all dragons are bad. We met some good dragons. I mean, I guess there are just like all other people, there are good dragons, there are bad dragons.
Bladebeard, is this like the time you kept bragging that it was 15 inches long? Is this the same thing with the dragons, that you've met them before?
You know what? I'm not gonna ask any questions.
By the way, I got a new book.
Do you present the book?
Yeah.
Ooh. Did you have that on you?
Nope.
Sateya just looks confused. What's Benjamin's
I
reaction?
got it while we were flying with the dragon.
How?
I pulled the card.
Benjamin checks his bag.
Cards are not there. But Benjamin, you also remember a portal just opening up mid-flight as you guys were flying. Pretty big one at that. A card? What's this about?
It doesn't matter. But I have this book now and I don't know. I just thought I would bring it up.
Yes, I can sense the holy magic. Please don't let that touch me.
Alright.
What's Benjamin's reaction?
I'll keep it.
I'm just blinking a lot of times.
Do any of you wanna?
Now that you look at Bladebeard, you see that... Well, that can't be right, but is he glowing slightly?
He's always glowing slightly.
Well, literally this time.
Yeah.
I poke him.
I will say before DoomGoblin, before you say anything, when Benjamin, you poke him, you do make contact with something, but it feels like there's an invisible barrier that keeps you from touching Bladebeard directly. That's say a centimeter wide or something, not very wide at all.
What the hell? You know what? I don't even care anymore. Just carry on, Bladebeard.
Alright.
You're a paladin now?
I don't know. does having this book make me a paladin?
Don't let it touch me, but can you show it to me?
Sure. He opens a book, like on a random page.
Above board, Benjamin, are you also looking, or is it just Satea?
Oh yeah, I'll peek.
What languages do you speak, Benjamin?
Essentially just common, and as we've established, a little bit of Talassian.
But can you recognize, like, say, like, to take a real-world example, you know, like, oh, I don't speak Russian, but I know that's the Cyrillic alphabet, for instance.
I mean, I guess that depends what it is.
Like, for example, would you recognize Dwarven, Draenei, Vrykul? How much would you recognize?
Dwarven, maybe, the rest not really.
Okay. The runes do seem Dwarven. Like, it's a book written in Dwarven. And Satea, like, scans the contents and says, "Where did you get this again?"
From a card. You want one?
Sure. But what, are you really going to let her draw from the deck?
Yeah. I was going to ask you before the session, but I forgot. Can I draw the same card twice, or once I draw
Nope.
it's...
Nope.
Alright.
Unless you use the undo button. So hypothetically, say you draw a bad card, and you want to avoid that effect, so use the undo button. The bad card goes back in the deck. Doesn't mean that it will be the next thing that it's drawn. Make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you would like to, I can give you a card. Something will happen, I can't guarantee you what.
Is this really happening? Are you guys letting her draw from the deck?
I am.
I don't think that's a good idea.
But I'll admit I'm curious, but so you just drew a card and you got a book from it, and that's it.
I drew 3 cards. First one gave me power over time. The second one...
Bladebeard, give me a flash. You are telling the truth, but let's see how convincing you are. Apparently very. Satea seems convinced at the very least.
The second one, I believe, opened a portal somewhere in the sky.
Where to?
I don't know. Did I get a good look?
Looked like a landscape filled with spikes, and the sky was like a very bright orange.
To a spiky place.
Okay.
Probably a world of spikes.
Right.
And the third one gave me the book.
Okay. Seems mostly beneficial. I'm interested in drawing. Is that alright? Looks also at Benjamin.
I'm pretty sure the Ephemeral mentioned the cards could be equally as bad.
This came from an Ephemeral?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I draw a card? Looks at Bladebeard.
Yeah.
No. Bladebeard, this is a terrible idea.
Alright, Benjamin. Do you want to draw first?
No.
Come on.
How
what's your
about
theory?
how about oh no, you can draw a card after we deal with the dragons.
Or
Because I don't know if you haven't noticed yet, but they're not big fans of us using magic. So, just be smart.
You do notice like that they continue like gathering around you guys, but they definitely seem very curious. Like Like they follow, you can see that they're following with like their view, and they move their heads looking after the deck in Bladebeard's hand. It's clearly very interesting to them.
Oh no. They will probably want to draw as well. But I don't have that many cards.
Exactly, Bladebeard. How about you don't make them jealous?
How about we draw now before they get a chance? I'm joking.
Alright, you'll get a card once we are done with the dragons, alright?
Who are you
Whatever. Just do it far away from me.
Satya looks more confused than ever. But before she has a chance to inquire further, as nether dragons continue gathering around you guys, you will see another like more important looking nether dragon that will fly sort of in front of you. You see that there was like a small spot left for her to appear. This dragon will settle down in front of you, and fucking hell. Roll 20 is being difficult again.
It's a baby dragon, it's fine.
Anyway, she, like, more gently this time places something in front of you. An very wounded looking blood oath. And you hear, none of you speak Draconic, do you?
Nope.
Fucking hell, why isn't Roll20 letting me just make her bigger? There you go, I had to move over off the freaking map. Okay. So, yeah. And she starts speaking in Draconic, and the nether dragon that brought you answers. Feel free to like give me carefuls if you'd like to like check their demeanor or anything like that.
Sure.
They don't appear angry or hostile, at least yet. They're more so neutral tone, let's say. And the lighter colored nether dragon will turn to your group and say, "You speak Thalassian?" In Thalassian. Or other languages you prefer? Yes?
I'll try to say this in Thalassian. If anyone speaks common, I think it'd be better for us.
Can you give me a clever, let's say, but it will not be a difficult roll. Let's see if you can get your point across. You do. She ponders to herself and says, "In common, you don't seem like goblins. Only goblins speak common, yes?"
Sorry, is she saying this in common?
Yes.
No, most people in Azeroth speak some measure of common.
Ah, you're from the other world too.
Yes.
Are you blood oaths?
No.
She's saying this in common, by the way, so Bladebeard also understands. She then looks at the wounded blood oath that's struggling to stand up and says, "She looks like blood oath, was using fell magic too. Do you know her?"
Not really, no.
"Who are you?"
I'm Benjamin Aaran, and this is
I'm Mary. I am Mary from Ironforge, says Satya.
I am Captain Bladebeard.
The nether dragon like looks you up and says, indicating the wounded blood elf, "And who is this?"
I thought we established we didn't know this model.
Sorry, language not easy for me. Apologies.
What language do you usually speak here on Outlands?
We speak my kind native language, the language of dragons. When dealing with blood elves, I speak, she says, Thalassian and Thalassian. When dealing with goblins, I speak this language. When dealing with Draenei, I speak, she says a word that you don't understand, but you presume it's Draenei and Draenei.
Well, we are 2 humans and a dwarf. We are not blood elves. Or goblins.
She approaches you and like, would you let her approach you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
She starts like sniffing you guys, inspecting you guys. Do you allow her?
Sure.
Okay. She starts with Benjamin and sniffs you and says, "You don't seem like, well, maybe. No, there is elf on you. And I sense magic too." Then she goes to Bladebeard and repeats the same process and like almost immediately like recoils from you and says, nasty elf, or not elf, nasty, and would approach Satea, but Satea would like to like interpose herself behind you, Bladebeard. What do you do?
Are you alright, Satea?
I don't trust these creatures. Trust or die, Blood Elf. We safeguard magic here, as taught by Tyri. You, bad magic, you not live long. Satea looks at you guys like as if to imply, I have bad magic and I want to live. But she doesn't say anything.
Don't worry, we are good magic, all of us.
Not you.
Not me.
You
I
foul, tainted.
I don't even really use magic. I'm a rogue.
She snorts.
Well, for what it's worth, I can attest to that.
You use magic too. You smell of elf too. Faint, but you do. Not trust.
I just sigh.
We back on our world. We met dragons before, and they were fine with us, with our magics.
This not your world, elf. Elves from your world make this place like this. Not trust. Dangerous.
Well, we ain't gonna be here for long. We came for a friend and few ogres, and we are leaving.
And I should say that the elves in our world are not the biggest fans of the elves here.
Remains to be seen. Since Satea will not allow herself to be inspected, let's say, that'll be sort of a negative point on this makeshift trial, but she will move to inspect the Blood Elf as she's slowly rising up, very heavily wounded, and the Blood Elf exclaims in Thalassian, "Get away from me, beast!" And the dragon says in Thalassian, "Nasty elf, warlock, demon." And the elf says, "That's none of your concern. Now let me go." And the elf turns to look at you, Free, and says in very broken common, "Who you?"
Captain Bladebeard.
Why you here?
Who are you?
Not business you.
Well, I'm not your business.
Well, shouldn't we ask at least?
What?
Well, Lyri is an elf. Maybe she went.
Oh, I know where Lyri is.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I can feel her.
That's strange, but okay.
She's
You-
back here on.
You friends Lyri?
I guess. Sure.
You come for her?
Yeah, among other things.
Give me a careful to see what her expression is. Like what she's conveying, let's say. Oh. She probably knows Lyri, but they seem like good pals, and to you at the very least.
Yeah, all blood elves are friends.
Of course. Take me to her after this.
Well, I think there's more pressing issues at the moment.
Yeah, you do see the nether dragons talking to each other and seeming very unhappy with you guys. The sort of lead nether dragon, the lighter shade one, will say, "Elves, why you make bad magics?" She says in Thalassian this time. "Why you make bad magics? Why you make this place like this? That's none of the business of a beast like you. Is my business. I guardian of this place. You not comply, I drop you into Nether."
They are speaking in Thalassian, right?
Yep.
Alright.
So only Benjamin understands.
Wait, I'll actually use my stun. The mysterious presence in my head taught me languages before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask it to teach me whatever language these dragons like to speak in.
Mm-hmm. You use your stunt and the same, more or less, sensation as before, as you can now perfectly understand what they're speaking.
So, Thalassian,
Yep.
not Draconic.
Yep, that's what you asked.
Alright.
Okay. The Nether Drake will turn to you, back to you, and say, "State your intentions, elves," in Thalassian.
So, can I speak for a while, Benjamin? I know Thalassian now.
Wait. Bladebeard, that's what you say in Thalassian to you. That's what you just said. Benjamin, what you heard in Thalassian was, "Stop, drop the book, stop, get it away, hurts," in Thalassian. But to Bladebeard, it sounds like he said what he said.
Bladebeard, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
The book hurts.
Do you want me to hold the book?
No. I can
Take
talk
it.
and...
It hurts.
Okay. And I get closer to Bladebeard and extend my hand.
I can keep the book.
Take it. It hurts. It disturbs the master.
Yeah, you should probably give it to me and go to like a spiritual doctor or something.
Bladebeard has been speaking in Thalassian above board. Bladebeard, what's your response?
Don't worry, Benjamin. I'll keep the book.
Obey the word of the master. Obey. Take the book. Take the book. Hurts.
I take a few steps back. Bladebeard, you're worrying me.
The nether dragons also like look among each other, very confused.
Fine. Here you go. I'll give him the book.
Take the book. Take it away from the master. Hurts.
I'll take the book and take a few steps away from Bladebeard.
Your divine shield dissipates, Bladebeard.
Oh. Alright.
And now Benjamin has the book.
Happy now?
Bladebeard does say happy now.
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter. Can I speak with the dragons now? Are we done?
If you stop saying weird things, sure.
Strange cursed elf, who speaks for you? Who inside your head?
No one. Me.
Lies.
Alright, there might be something, but I don't know what it is.
Can you fix him without killing him?
I'm gonna roll the nether dragon's clever. Only cure is death.
Wonderful.
But I ain't sick. I'm fine. Trust me.
Tainted, possessed. Others speak for you.
No, I speak for myself.
Presence of shadow in your mind. Tainted, dangerous. And the nether drakes, like all of them, like start looking like somewhat aggressive, concerned, etc.
Hey, I didn't come here to mess with you. I have no business with you, dragon people.
You elves in Netherstorm, you mess here just with your presence, with your magics.
This is the first time we've been here.
And shall be last.
Hopefully, yes. We just wanna get our friends and go back home and never return.
There is a very bad man here, wrapped in cloth. He's like a mummy, and he has a bunch of ogre slaves that he came
You're
here.
enemies with the Ethereals too, says the Blood Elf.
Sure.
Well, some of them, at least.
Well, what they do to you? Says the Blood Elf.
They took a bunch of ogres as slaves.
Lyri did mention that they turned creatures they captured into automatons. Is that true?
Yes. Something of the sort, yes.
Yeah, this thing, and I'll use the hourglass to create a image again.
You use the hourglass and you hear the whispers of the nether dragons among each other. They look somewhat agitated after you do that. Not at the image you're presenting, but rather at the hourglass itself.
See, this creature was created by a man we came here to fight.
Well, I'll be frank, I don't give a crap about your ogres, but
I don't give a crap about you. I'm talking to the dragons. Shut up.
Oh, I thought you were talking to her above board. My bad.
Shut up, Blood Elf. Dragon.
Above board, that was my bad.
No, it's fine.
It's funnier this way, honestly.
I don't think it will be necessary for you to talk anymore. Alright?
The Blood Elf looks very, very pissed. The lead Nether Dragon says, surrender that artifact now.
But it's mine.
It's
I don't want
tainted.
to.
Tainted. Of the makers, but tainted. Foul. Must be disposed of. Must be disposed of before corruption spreads.
No, it's fine, trust me. I had it for a couple of days, weeks.
You're above board, you guys are really racking those negative points. Okay. She growls at you and says, after a pause, what you do to Netherstorm, how you gather the magics, how you draw the Nether here. That's none of your business, is it? Says the Blood Elf. The Nether Dragon glares at the Blood Elf and then looks at the rest of you guys as if expecting you guys to answer.
As we said, this is the first time we're here. We have no idea what's going on here, honestly.
You elves, you must be connected with the elves here. Foul.
My grandpa or great grandpa or whatever was an elf. Heck, why no?
I'm at what? No elf could grow a beard this beautiful.
You have pink skin like elf. Not green like goblin, not blue like Draenei, pink like elf.
Well, I've seen a dragon who turns into a pink gnome. Isn't that an elf?
You shapeshifters?
What?
You shapeshifters?
No, I'm just saying that we've seen dragons turn into like a gnome or a human.
Prove you not elf.
How do we do that?
Prove.
Well, look at her. She's an elf, and look at us.
Yes, same pink skin. Same taint, well, not same. Tainted magic as well. Elf, yes.
Look at our eyebrows.
She blinks.
Or our ears. Huh? Not the same.
Give me a careful, I guess. Same pink skin, tainted magic too, elf.
I bend over to Bladebeard and say, "Hey, do you have like a recording of Kiri or something?" I don't know if that helps our case, but
Of who?
of Kiri.
Oh, yeah. Should I show them?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They've seen your thing, so it's not a surprise anymore, yet.
Alright. See, for some reason my friend wants me to show you an image of our dragon friend from our world. Maybe you know her, maybe you don't, but here you go. There she is.
Do you show an image of Kyrie in what form?
Dragon.
Okay. Yeah, the nether drakes all look interested and say, and eventually after a while, the lead one will say, not one we know, but resemble one. Resemble our old teacher, yes. And when she says the word teacher, like all the nether drakes like repeat that word among each other, like yes, teacher, yes.
Well, maybe they are cousins or something. We are her friends, and she didn't think that we are unworthy of living. She was fine with us, with our magics.
Can you give me another careful to see how well this is received? Okay. Definitely a point or two. She says, talk to her now. Make her talk to us.
Well, this out of the character. Should I try to deceive them that I'm like actually talking to her? This isn't really her. It's just my memory of her.
I will say before you ponder the question further, the Nether Dragon will say, contact her, make her talk, as in they realize this is just a projection. Contact the real one.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any way to contact the dragon without?
A simple sending spell should work, says the Blood Oath.
Here's the thing. We don't really do much magic.
Then you guys are in a fucked up situation. I know the sending spell, says Satea, but I don't know this dragon. I have to know her to do the spell.
Can you teach me, I guess?
Do you have a couple hours?
I mean, if we aren't eaten in the meantime, yes.
Addressing the Nether Dragon, Satea says, can I have a couple hours to teach this fellow the necessary spell to talk to that dragon? The dragons look at each other and look at the points you've lost and tallied so far, which is overall more or less even, actually. What's your demeanor, Benjamin and Bladebeard? This might influence their decision. Like body language, stuff like that.
I guess since we're sort of asking for more hours, I guess I'm definitely a bit more nervous than I was before.
I'm going to say that Bladebeard is calm and confident that they're gonna survive this. And that they'll have dragons as allies.
You have 2 hours, but kept under guard.
Can you, while Benjamin is learning this, can one of you go pick up our other friends, Tamal and Buhd? They were left behind by the dragon guy.
She turns to speak to the Nether Dragon that picked you guys up, and they appear to be having a short conversation. Let me know if you do or say anything while they're conversing. But if not, go ahead.
You should probably mention you're with us so that there's no fighting involved, maybe.
You say that to the Nether Dragon?
Yeah.
She seems to ignore you. And
okay, fair enough.
she turns back to you guys and says, Maraku said there were 2 others with you, yes? But Ogre and Ephemeral, not elves. Why bring them?
They are friends. One is a crewmate, one is a former crewmate.
Why bring them?
Actually, the ogre is kind of the reason why we are here. He brought us, let's say, because we are helping him.
And they know us. They can vouch for us if need be. And they're not elves, according to you.
Explain how Ogre bring you here.
Well, so an evil slaver, mommy man, took his ogres, and he was like, "Yo, we have to save those ogres, and we were like, alright, we'll come with you and help you.
Give me a flash because I don't know if she will know Mummy Man. What that means. Apparently she does. You saying Ethereal's danger?
Aye,
She
they
tries
are
to-
in danger from us.
That no concern of mine then.
They maybe, I don't know, maybe they take a lot of different creatures and do experiments on them. Maybe they even have some dragons. Who knows?
She turns to speak to Morocco again. And they converse for a while in Draconic.
Should we like start doing the spell thing while they talk?
Sure. If you'd like. I can teach it better, I imagine, says the Blood Oath. What university did you graduate from, talking to Satea in Talassian? The College of, what's that human place, Stormwind? And Satea says to you, Benjamin, I don't know what she's saying. I don't speak Talassian.
I think she was trying to provoke you about like your academics or whatever.
Oh, is that right? Well, how many corpses have you raised, Blood Oath? And the Blood Oath says in Talassian, like, they're gonna argue without understanding what the other's saying. How many demons have you summoned, How much energy from the nether have you pulled? How many abominations have you stitched together? How
I'll
many
try to
zombies?
put myself in between.
I will try to rob the blood. Sneakily.
Give me a sneaky.
8.
Okay. Let's resolve, let's see how the current argument resolves with Benjamin before I give you her inventory. Because, if for whatever reason she might, jump away in a random direction, you'll have a lesser window of time to look at her stuff, if that makes sense, okay?
Alright, yeah.
So, Benjamin, you interpose yourself between the two.
Can we focus, or we're literally all gonna die?
What language do you say that in?
In common.
Move out of the way, human, says the Blood Oath. I'm not done with this amateur. I don't know what you're saying, but Benjamin, was it? Benjamin here is right. We need to focus. I bet you don't even know the sending spell, actually. I don't. Look, you're creeping me the hell out. I'm gonna go and teach Benjamin. All right. And I'm presuming she'll Satea start sort of dragging you away, Benjamin. Do you allow this?
Sure, yeah.
The Blood Oath yells after you, Benjamin. Come back and see me when she inevitably fails you and you need a better teacher.
I just sigh.
What did she say?
Nothing. Just let's hurry this along.
Okay, Bladebeard. Of her possessions, frankly, she doesn't have much on her that's intact, because she went through a bunch of things. You would find what looks to be how best to describe it. Have you ever watched the Jetsons or Duck Dodgers or something like that?
No, doesn't sound familiar to me.
Sure. Then you find what looks to be a gun, but it feels like it's made of, well, you wouldn't know what plastic is, of softer material, and the barrel, instead of an actual gun barrel, is a pipe that's like circled by several rings, if that makes sense.
Oh, like a alien laser gun.
That's what it looks like. No, doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it is, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a what's the name? Tesla cord.
Sure.
All right.
And you find something that feels hot to the touch. Do you like continue looking, like to inspect what that may be?
Sure.
You find something that looks very, very familiar to you. It's not the same object, but still, a fel crystal.
Yeah, those are useless.
Similar to the one the Nexus Lord once gave you. And you would also find, actually, yeah, I think that's all that you would find on this lady.
No, like food or money.
Nope.
I'll take the gun, so I could have three guns now.
Quote unquote gun.
Yeah.
Sure. You take it and put it in your inventory, and because of your sneaky, you are able to like get away from her before she before she notices. Yeah. You will then see Maraku take flight, and the lead nether drake, as the other dragons also begin to like disperse, she says something to one of them in Draconic and then turns to you and says, Me and Nurisu stay guard over you. Watch you, make sure you not destroy.
Great.
Now teach. Above board, Benjamin, do you allow Satya to teach you?
Yeah.
Give me a clever, because being taught under duress isn't fun.
Yeah.
Okay, you will grasp the spell eventually, after the 2-hour period is over. Shall we check up on the others? Lyri and Buhd?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with Lyri, I suppose. Zelris, are you with us?
Mm-hmm.
What's up? What are you doing now that you've like rested for almost 2 hours?
Resting still.
Sure.
She's not gonna risk going out there in the in the horrible nether storm where she'll be out in the open. She'd rather just wait there until something happens.
Understandable. Okay, then shall we roll on the table?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Give me a careful, just to see if you would see ahead of time. Okay. With that roll, you'll probably have a bit of a disadvantage if you decide to go sneaky, but eventually as you're resting you do hear several footsteps nearby and individuals talking in an unknown language.
Can I kind of assume what language they're talking in if I've like heard it before or not?
Give me a clever, but it'll be a very difficult roll. Not quite.
Okay. Lyri's going to assume it's either going to be some kind of Draenei, because what I was mentioning, Draenei's, or ethereal. So she's gonna slink back into her little hidey hole and wait for them to pass.
Okay. Give me a second while I look up the character sheet. Just a moment, please. Where did I... Oh, there they are. Okay. Can you roll me a sneaky?
Sure. So at 8.
You... How do you defend yourself from a blast of arcane magic?
I don't. So, I don't think Lyri would be able to do that. I guess. I guess she would feel the like heavy amount of arcane magic coming towards her and try and like blink out of the way, but yeah, I think that's what she'd do.
That sounds like a quick defense to me.
Yeah. Oh, why isn't it working? Oh, there you go.
How do you take 4 points of damage?
2 stress, 2 consequence.
Okay. And while I type that in, as you like turn to see who or what struck you, your level 2 consequence will be blasted by arcane magic, because that's what happened. As you turn to look to see what struck you, you will see pretty much the same thing that like made you teleport away. Couple of these gentlemen joined by one of their like more important caster boss looking characters that I'm having a bit of trouble finding. Oh yeah, there this individual is. We are now in initiative order. This guy, the above board retriever, just had his turn, so now it's your turn, Lyri.
Okay, Lyri kind of like looks up in the rubble and sees these guys. No good.
Surrender, elf, says in Thalassian.
Who are you?
Surrender or die.
Lyri kind of looks down at the glove that she like carved the summoning thing on. Oh, come on, those ogres could. Lyri kind of like waits 2 seconds before saying, hoping there was like save her, but nothing happens.
The retriever starts charging up another blast. And the melee guys start moving in.
Great. How far away is Lyri from like anything in particular?
Like besides the Ethereals, you mean like landmarks, etc.?
Or the edge, etc., etc. I don't know.
Oh, you're not near the edge of the Netherstorm.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere, aren't I?
More or less. This isn't like smooth terrain. There are plenty of like rocky outcrops and like small hills that you can move like pretty much anywhere. I would say you're not on a hill at the moment, but there's like one a few meters away from you, let's say. If that makes sense.
Pardon? I didn't hear that.
So, you're not on a hill at the moment, but you're like a few meters away from one. It's again very rough terrain. It can be difficult to like get a clear shot for them if that's what you're thinking. But they did like get one, like catch you by surprise.
Right. Lyri kind of she runs away. She's not dealing with these people. She's gonna run for the hills, literally.
Okay. It's still your turn. What would you like to do? Concede the fight. A concession can mean pretty bad stuff. Do you want to create a quick advantage? What's your plan?
Can I create a quick advantage?
Mm-hmm. Give me a quick.
So watch this be my worst quick roll ever. Yep.
Okay. Since you failed with style, aka more than a 3-point difference than the difficulty I had in mind, which was 4, you do create an advantage for the enemy.
Wonderful.
Okay. I'll call it difficult terrain, because that's what's slowing you down, basically. You can't run in a straight line.
Yep.
Okay, the Ephemeral, just like melee guys, goons turn. They will run up to you and try to like slash you. How do you defend yourself?
How will Lyri defend herself? She will, as she's running and seeing these guys catch up, she will kind of turn around and, I guess, motion to try and parry them, but then blink a few meters back, or how, I don't know how, I can't measure, a few steps back to kind of trick them into swinging early.
Sounds like a sneaky defense. Yep, that's more than enough, and you also create an advantage. Do you have a name in mind for the advantage?
In the blink of an eye, because I'm blinking. There you go.
Makes sense to me. The Retriever's turn, aka the head of Furios, it will fire the Arcane Blast it was charging up. How do you defend yourself?
How will Lyri defend herself? I guess Lyri would. She's still not at the hill yet. She's still climbing it. Well, not even there yet. Okay. Let me think. I think she would kind of, I guess, feeling this arcane blast on her trail, will motion to dodge in one way, like roll in one way, and then roll in the other one to try and throw it off at the last second, I guess.
Sounds quick or sneaky. I leave it up to you. Tie means the Ethereal gets an advantage. I'll give it another charge on difficult terrain. Your turn.
Wonderful. Lyri will use her stun to try and teleport and become invisible to get some ground.
You do that, and you see the Ethereals baffled. Can you give me a sneaky, and I'll also give you, in addition to your stunt, also a +2 bonus, and I'll oppose with the Ethereals. Careful.
So a 14, that's pretty good.
The head honcho Ethereal, like, they speak in a foreign language that you've almost never heard before, but you can tell that he seems very, very angry as he orders a general search. But for the moment, you have made your getaway.
Lyri will continue trying to run away, kind of recklessly. She her little hidey hole where she was safe has now been invaded and destroyed. So she's going to just run as fast as she can in whatever direction she can go in, because she's in a bad mood.
You're going in a random direction.
Yeah, kinda just... It's just too hectic for her to kind of just like think clearly. She just got shot by an arcane bolt, and she knows what happens to people who are captured by these guys, so she's very frightened.
Messed up thing is, I actually, because you brought it up, and it's something that I wanted to do after the encounter, the random encounter was over. The random encounter is now over, so that thing will now happen. You feel yourself being called away somewhere else, magically.
Lyri, with a sigh of relief, kind of gives up and lets herself be called back.
Yep, as Gamash will summon you. Bobo, this is a question for everyone. Would you guys like to check up on Buhd first, or see what Lyri will be up to in the ogre hideout? Question for everyone.
Maybe Buhd first? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Buhd first.
Sure. So, Skoll, are you with us?
Yep.
As you continue heading to the dome in the distance, you've been walking for a while now. It's clearly pretty far away. What's going through Bud's mind at the moment?
I'd say he's tired and feels beaten up. And he's probably a little bit exhausted, but he's pushing himself to get to somewhere safe, I guess.
Shall we roll once again on the encounter table?
I guess so.
Okay. Give me a second. Okay. This is incredibly fucked up. But in the distance, like actually as not even in the distance, you like walk past a hill and you look to your right and you see Lyri. Lyri, you also see Buhd. At the same time, Lyri, you're being called away.
Lyri?
Lyri kind of like grabs her head. Not having anything to eat and drink is really messing with my head.
Same.
Wait. Lyri kind of like quickly like takes a few steps back, waiting to be called away. Wait. If there's someone, Lyri kind of grabs her head and kind of rubs her temples, kind of in agony.
2 more seconds. I've been like counting down from 10, like taking pauses for like narrative breaks. You have 2 seconds to act before you feel Gamash's spell finishing.
Lyri just kind of closes her eyes, not wanting to deal with this horrible hallucination.
But do you do anything in those 2 seconds that, well, you don't know of?
Bud is very confused. He either thinks it's a hallucination too, or it could be really Lyri. He doesn't know.
And as you like ponder that, Lyri vanishes in thin air.
That was weird.
That was very, very, I don't know if lucky or unlucky, but it happened. Above board.
Bud shakes his head and wipes his hands with his eyes and goes back to going towards the dome.
You do hear angry shouting coming from like behind quote unquote where Lyri was. Like someone shouting angrily in a language you don't understand in that direction.
Weird.
You have the option of ignoring that. You don't have to engage with them if you'd like. Up to you.
I don't think Bud would. I think he's trying to avoid things right now after dealing with a Fel Reaver
Understandable.
and cannons.
Understandable. So you continue on your way towards the glowing thing.
What he thinks is Aaran, yeah.
Okay. Fun stuff. I guess, yeah, because Benjamin, you'll need 2 hours to learn from Satea. That would be enough time for another Buhd possible random encounter. Up to you. You do like see you're making progress, but now that you've like crested a hill, you see that you now have like a better grasp of the environment of the Netherstorm as you realize you're on a floating island connected to other floating islands, and you need to like cross a bridge to connect to the next island over that holds the quote-unquote Aaran.
So he just has to cross a bridge?
Well, cross a bridge and it will take some more time as well, but what I'm trying to say is now you really notice that like, oh yeah, Outland is messed up.
This place really broken apart. Like Bud.
Do you proceed?
Yeah, he'll go across the bridge.
Shall we roll again on the random encounter table?
I guess.
I mean, not all of them are bad, as you just saw. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's just I have the worst luck.
You saying Lyri's bad? Wow.
No, I mean,
Well,
Lyri's the one that wasn't bad.
yeah, Lyri was the one good one so far.
Okay. But as you cross the bridge, you give me a second. Oh, 20 is acting up. You will hear in the distance.
Oh my god.
No way, this is evil.
I'm not even joking. That is what an 11 means.
No,
Do you still believe the dice aren't rigged?
What did you say?
Not again.
Thompshire?
The dice are rigged. This isn't possible.
Yeah, but as you feel the ground shake, and from like behind you, also cresting the hill that you just came from while you're crossing the bridge, you see the gigantic Fell River make its appearance. Well, give me a second while I'll put it on screen. What do you do?
Bud will start running across the bridge now rather than walking across it.
Okay. First of all, can you roll me a sneaky? Let's see if this thing notices you.
I notice Bud. Bud's sneaky's awful.
You never know. Well, you clearly see it like lock onto you, and once again, it will give chase. Okay.
Yeah, but Bud will start running across the bridge.
Give me a quick. Oh yeah, it clearly makes up the distance. It has an easier time negotiating the rough terrain than you, and like it crosses the gap like the bridges cover in like one go, and it closes in on you. I would say that you've like managed to cross the bridge in the meanwhile, if that makes sense. If you continue running, can I get another quick?
Yeah.
You do manage to gain some distance. Now you're back to quote-unquote even. Like above board, you need 2 successes to get away or 2 failures for it to catch you. Now you're at net 0, if that makes sense. All right.
Okay.
Shall we roll again?
Yeah. Keep running.
Give me a... It starts closing in on you. Shall we roll
I
again?
would like to roll a fate point.
What are you invoking?
I will invoke former warlord.
How does that help you?
Given his former battle expertise, I'd say he was quite a charger or quite a runner in his day.
I agree. Okay. You use that, but I'll use your level 6 consequence, broken bones all over, to tip the scales.
God, I'm gonna die.
Join the club.
You've not been chased by Fell Reaper twice. I don't want to hear it.
That was incredibly unlucky, especially since I made the like random encounter table more varied as well, like with more options.
Alright, well, Bud is limp running, I guess, now.
Well, with 2 failures, it will catch up unless you want to improve your roll further.
I don't think any of my aspects will really help me. I
don't know, you're a pirate captain. Pirates, steal treasure and then they gotta run away, right?
I'll steal that idea. Yeah.
Sure.
I will use another fate point for that.
Sure. Okay. I accept it. We are once again back at quote-unquote net 0. Can I get another quick from you, please?
Oh my goodness.
It keeps catching up to you. Like, it's gigantic. Like, every step it takes is like needs you, like, you need several seconds of running just to like recover that one single step. You're now at 1 negative, let's say. Shall we roll again? Or do you have anything else you'd like to do?
I don't think I have another aspect I could use for that can help.
Well, I don't necessarily mean to improve your roll, but also if you'd like to do something else instead of running. Up to you.
But we'll keep running for now.
Then give me a quick, please. Tie, would mean you succeed at a negative cost or fail. Up to you. Unless
I
you want
think
to improve
succeed
your roll.
at a negative cost is, well, I don't think I can help much my aspects.
Okay. You continue running, but in your panic, you drop Bladebeard's pants and left boot.
What a shame.
Oh no.
Okay. We are once again at net zero. Shall we roll once again?
Yeah.
It once again starts catching up to you. Do we continue rolling? Would you like to improve your roll? Up to you.
I'll keep rolling, I guess. Oh man.
Okay. It will catch up to you unless you want to improve your roll. Up to you.
I'm trying to think of a way that I could use any of the aspects.
Well,
I mean, it's a different role.
Yeah,
Use them,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a different roll, so you can reuse them as well. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. I would like to use former warlord again.
Sure. But I will use your level 4 consequence to make it in my favor again.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna compel Bud's friend till the end, because he wants to go really fast to get to his friends. So I give him a free fate point.
Well, what's the compel exactly?
It's just that he wants to get to his friends fast, so he doesn't have time to engage. So he's gotta keep running, running, and running.
I'm not sure that's sufficient. Like, above board as a DM, can you actually give him a bit more? Like a bit more of a demand?
Okay. They both crossed the bridge, right?
Yep. Well, the Fell River walked over the bridge.
No, okay. That's cheating, but okay. I don't really have any ideas in particular. Anything, DoomGoblin? No? Maybe?
Or Zelris. Or Skoll himself. Skoll, you can also compel yourself.
I mean, I would have done a very similar thing that Benjamin just said, but apparently that's a no.
Well, again,
wanting to.
I'm not entirely opposed to Thompshire's idea. It's just that, like, a compel has to be something somewhat disadvantageous or like off topic, for lack of a better term, that you have to do. And like, I have to get back to my friends was your goal anyway.
Well, I mean, I can push the idea of him leaving Bladebeard's stuff behind, I guess, since he's so worried about getting there.
Yeah, but we're already past that
yeah,
point. Like,
yeah.
we've already rolled since then. Like,
Yeah.
Buhd has already left Bladebeard stuff behind.
No, I could be really mean and say that no, I can't do that.
What, tell him to drop his cannon? Was that it?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but since it's stunt, he can't do that. Could I maybe say that he drops this session's cannonball.
Skoll, what do you think?
Sure, I guess to gain some speed.
Okay. Here's one of Benjamin's fate points. You forgo the use of that particular stunt this session.
Okay.
You still have to reinvest that fate point to make your roll better, though.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, maybe I could just use, the fact that he dropped that cannon with heavy weapons expert.
Mm-hmm.
To, since he lost some weight, he can run faster a little bit.
I agree. And once again, we find ourselves at quote-unquote net zero. Although I have used up both of your consequences, and I only have one fate point for the scene, so at least there's that. Do we continue rolling, or do you have something else in mind other than running?
I think running's all Bud's got. He doesn't have his cannon anymore.
How far is he from the dome?
Still a few hours away.
Oh, okay.
Goodness gracious.
This isn't in-game scaling, just to remind you guys. Okay. Do we continue running, or do you have anything else in mind? Again, the choice is yours.
I will keep running.
You can always try and hit it with your sword.
Oh yeah, that's gonna help.
You can do that, technically.
I don't think it's gonna do diddle.
Can you give me a quick, please? Once again, either succeed at a negative cost or fail.
Now he's gonna drop his own pants.
I'll take a negative consequence. I don't want Bud to fail. He's
not consequence of the technical term, just a negative cost. I think... yeah, I think in your panic you would drop your sword.
Okay.
But now you're one over. If you get one success, you will get away.
Okay.
Shall we roll again?
Oh my goodness, I need a reroll.
I mean,
That's your final fate point, Buhd.
One, it's your final fate point. Two, are you sure you can beat a 7?
Oh, I can't beat a 7.
Well, technically you can, but rather I'm asking if you want to risk it.
Can I donate my birthday inspiration?
Unfortunately not. But you can compel Buhd.
I'm not really sure what to compel them with.
Or anyone else can also compel Buhd, including himself.
I've got nothing. I can't think of anything to compel Bud with besides, oh yeah, you want to live.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I still don't have an idea, but maybe there's something with him being a former warlord and being on Draenor. Maybe something with that we could compel. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he runs into a person that really hates ogres or something like that.
Or maybe he could go feral for a bit. I don't know.
Going feral implies that he'd face the Fell River head on. At least that's the way I'm thinking of. You can rephrase it, but...
Yeah, can we get Bud to spend the final fate point and make him fight the Fell River? That's a great idea.
I don't want to die.
I don't think... What else is there to compel Bud with? He's dropped all of his stuff pretty much.
Except his actual clothes.
And his cannon.
Doesn't he have 2 swords? Or
I think didn't he lose one in Booty Bay, or am I going crazy?
Yeah, he lost one in session 3 or 4.
Yeah, I lost the sword a while ago, and now I lost the other one.
you have to drop your hat with the feather.
Not the hat!
He's been demoted back to first mate.
All right.
Stop making Bud naked.
I have something, but it's kind of out there, kind of crazy. He's on Draenor, right? The former world of the ogres. Maybe maybe there's like an ogre ghost that starts hunting him and is like annoying him all the time, like telling him to reclaim this land and rebuild the ogre empire.
He's gonna
Something
call
like
him.
that.
I mean, are you compelling me?
No, but because he's a former warlord and
Are you compelling him to
confused.
go crazy? What is this?
Yeah,
I'm confused.
Yeah. Like, I would treat that because Skoll cannot make himself be haunted by a ghost. Well, not easily anyway. So your compel would be for Buhd to think more or less permanently, at least while he's on Outland, that he's being haunted.
This is fucked up. It is fucking Buhd up for no reason.
if no one else has anything better, I mean, he needs.
That's like strangely specific.
Yeah, I like I said, I can't think of anything better.
I'm not opposing it. I just want to make it clear. I just wanted to make clear how that would work if DoomGoblin you go through the compel and if Skoll accepts. It wouldn't be an actual ghost. It would be Bud's fragmented memory and all of that making him think that he's haunted.
Like, how severe is this haunting?
It will be comparable to like well no, that's actually up to DoomGoblin to decide. If it's to the point where like Buhd actually sees things, or if it's just like the more or less occasional whisper in his mind.
Oh,
Can you
let's
see,
say
like,
that
ghosts?
he actually sees things, like he remembers from old stories or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
let's say I'm going with it. I'm gonna compel you, your former warlord.
Alright, I guess I'll take it.
Okay. Funnily enough, like if you had refused, you would have lost your last fate point. But okay. You take it. I think now we're at net zero with the Fell River chase again. But you continue running, you hear a voice in your mind say, "Run, Buhd, run."
Oh, what hearing things know.
Use the force, Buhd. Let go, Buhd, let go. I'm joking.
I was gonna say but you're very conflicting. You tell Buhd to die now?
Yeah, I'm joking. Okay. I'll have a lot of above board. I'll have a lot of thinking to do with this compel, but okay. Once again, Skoll, we're at net zero of the Fell River chase. Shall we roll again?
Yeah.
Give me a quick, please. It starts catching up on you.
I would definitely like to use that one fate point Bladebeard just gave me.
What are you invoking?
I will invoke his former warlord aspect to be, I guess, encouraged by this strange spirit thing in his head to press forward and run.
The future of the tribe depends upon you, Buhd. Oh no, it would say, the future of the clan depends upon you, Moarg.
Right, yes. I must keep going.
So you're using that to improve your roll by +2?
Yes.
Okay. Now you are ahead of the Fell River. Shall we roll again? And if you succeed one more time, you'll be scot-free.
Alright, please give me a good roll. RPG goodness.
Tie once again means either fail or succeed at a negative cost.
Goodbye, pants.
succeed at a negative cost, I guess, then.
Well, no, I'm gonna actually use my 1 fate point for the scene to improve my roll.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Well, you have 1 remaining fate point, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well use mine then. But then you guys can compel Buhd to do anything, so alright.
That's why I use mine. What are you
Yeah.
invoking?
I will invoke Friend till the end. He wants to survive so he can lead his ogre brethren, who he considers his friends, back to Azeroth. He has to live.
Sure. Now for the negative cost part.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I think what happens is you continue running in a panic, and I think you'd probably like, as you crest the hill, you'd probably like trip and fall downside of the hill, and you'd see like as you're falling, the Fel Reaver lose track of you as you've also like gained upon it and like change direction, probably its directive to like patrol again. The negative cost would be as you're falling, I imagine you're probably going to stumble upon someone or something else.
If it's in the Fel Reaver, then.
It's another Fel Reaver.
I will, for this once, say that if it falls on the Fel Reaver, something else will happen.
Okay.
2 Fel Reavers.
Alright.
Yeah, Light Reaver will save both.
Oh my god. Wait, save Buhd?
Yeah, Light Reaver.
Oh, that would be such a wholesome moment.
Okay. This is an interesting one. As you like trip and fall and like hurt yourself as you're like tripping, falling down this hill, you will like again, you see the Fel Reaver in the distance going somewhere else, and as you like start getting up and like dusting yourself off, etc., etc., you see that someone is right next to you. This gentleman. What in the... Who are you, stranger? Says in common.
I'm Buhd.
And what are you doing here, Buhd?
Running away from the river.
Right, I meant here as in motions to the general environment.
Save ogres from mummy men.
Right. Mummy men. Right. Well, I suggest you keep heading on down that way. Points in the direction of the sphere thingy.
Sound good. Get the dollar on then.
Daron?
Isn't that what under dome?
Sure. Sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, do me a favor, forget you saw me, right?
Okay, Elfman.
You didn't see an elf man. You just heard someone in your mind say to head that way.
Okay, not the first time that happened today.
Right? Carry on.
Bud waves to the elf weakly and begins to walk back to the dome.
If you were to look at the elf before you start walking, you would see that this elf also looks injured, and they are like kneeling, grasping their injury. Like it was very much stroke of the luck that you stumbled on each other.
Okay. I mean, Bud's been seeing elves a lot today, so he's not sure if it's a hallucination or whatever, but he's gonna roll with it.
Sure. So you're gonna continue walking towards above board the Ecodome, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Shall we check up on Lyri this time?
Sure.
That alright with everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a question while I set up the technical stuff. Zelris, What were Lyri's thoughts upon seeing Buhd?
I mean, she thought it was a hallucination. She didn't believe it was real. Because them being in Netherstorm is literally the most out there, impossible thing that it doesn't even cross her mind that it might be Buhd. She thinks it's a hallucination because she hasn't been eating or drinking.
Understandable.
Also, she got hit on the head earlier, so, I mean, it could be a lot of things, but she does not think it's real.
Understandable. Okay, you once again find yourself in the lair of Golgamash. Just because you might need it, do you have the map I posted last session on hand?
I do not.
Okay. Give me...
It's like a little circle, right?
Yeah, a bunch of them. Give me a second. I can post it again, just give me a second because the technical stuff. Okay. I'll post it in...
I found it.
Okay. Yeah. You find yourself summoned once again to Golgamash's lair, and you see two very unhappy ogre heads staring down at you.
You have summoned Lyri and Buhd, servants of Golgamash. What can I...
Says Gol.
Lyri kind of stops mid mantra.
Gol isn't the one that summoned you above board. Gamash says, "You messed up bad. Lost lots of shinies because of you. Had to kill Bakum just to keep winnings. Fuck."
Okay. He yelled at after a near-death experience.
I will say, "How will she make up for this, brother? Why have you summoned her again? I'll get to that. What do you have to say for yourself, demon?"
Would you like me to get you some food?
"I like some food," says Gol. "Shut up, brother." "No. You bad demon. You very, very incompetent demon. Had to kill Bakum just because of you."
I'm sorry.
"Go clean the fighting."
Do you want me to get you some food while I'm out?
"I'd like some food," says Gol. "Shut up, brother. Carry out your orders, demon."
Lyri will just immediately woke up, finally been given a moment of reprieve, and she will go and do what they said.
Sure. You know to head to the fighting pits, but once again you know that there are two paths to head there. You go via the Pit of Shinies or via the other area.
She goes by the Pit of Shinies to have like a little glance as she walks past.
Sure. As you go, because it's late at night on Azeroth, well, fairly late, like probably like close to midnight, let's say, on Azeroth, you see most of the ogres have gone down sleeping, but you also see that a lot of them are bloody. You can imagine that probably like a brawl broke out after you were desummoned. And you will see, like, next to the Pit of Shinies, a very grumpy Muku, like, sitting, like, cross-armed, very upset. If you get close, Muku will notice you.
Lyri will...
Let me put Muku on screen again.
Yeah, Muku's a big, strong guy. I remember him.
He's the keeper of the Shinies.
Yeah, Lyri will not go close to him because last time, like, he beat her up for not doing anything at all. Now he has reasons to hate her, so she's gonna stick far away from this guy.
Can you give me a sneaky?
Sure. An 11.
Well, even without the stunt applying, it's more than enough. I intended a difficulty of 6. Yeah. Muku is off in his own world. But you do hear once again someone whisper to you from the stash, "Hey, over here."
Who are you? I say in my head.
Come closer, we can talk clearer.
Lyri sighs and then I guess quickly plots kind of a way around the area to kind of get close to the Pit of Shinies. But hopefully still kind of stay out of eyesight shot of this guy while he's like staring off in the distance.
Okay, then now give me an actual like sneaky and I'll oppose of Moku's careful.
Okay. My stunt applies, right? So I'll be a 10.
Yep. Muku is off in their own world and the ogres are sleeping. You feel... Yeah, you continue hearing the voice. Come closer, demon. Come closer, elf.
Okay, Lyri will...
It's somewhere in the Pit of Shinies, like you can't be on the edge, if that makes sense.
Lyri seems hesitant at first, but she's like the nicest person who's been in the head for a while. Like apart from the nice person who's been in the head for a while. So she'll I guess go towards it and try and see what it is.
Sure. You sort of feel drawn to it as you will see well, not see, but rather you will feel as you close upon it that the voice is coming from this thing.
Skoll? Lyri kind of says to herself in her head.
Give me a hot second. Cause I'm... Okay. Name's Garuk, elf. I was a warlock back in my day, unlike you, apparently.
Yes? Lyri kind of looks down in shame.
Would you like me to tell you how you can get out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would I get from it? From helping you? Do you have anything for me?
Lyri kind of like... I mean, what does a Skoll want?
Well, for one, I'd very much like to be flesh and blood once again. A suitable body would be decent.
I'm gonna compel Lyri. I'm gonna compel her scheming magic. You know, the Skoll definitely has some power. You know, definitely wants something from her. So why doesn't Lyri simply take the power away from the Skoll and get out of this herself?
So...
And maybe grow some hooves in the process. Who knows?
Oh no. Well, let me think this one through. Wouldn't Lyri... I don't think she knows enough about the Skoll to make a decision like that so early on. Can I talk with the Skoll a little bit before I make the compel, or do I have to make it now?
Thompshire?
Sure. Fine by me.
Well, couldn't I take you to see Forsaken? Maybe they could give you a body?
No. For one, I don't even know what that is, but, well, if you'd allow me, for one, to possess you, that would be a way to break free of your servitude, yes? Or if not, if you have another suitable candidate for me to possess,
Lyri frowns. Couldn't you just possess one of these ogres? Couldn't I just give you to them and let you possess them?
Tried once. After my first attempt, I was stashed back here. Above board, you're like sort of in the back of the Pit of Shinies, like fairly far away from everything. They don't trust me, you see. But, well, I've decided that being honest is the best policy, so I'll be honest with you. If you allow me to possess you, or, well, then you'd obviously be free. But if you can bring me a body for me to use, I can tell you how to break free. Or, well, once I have a body, I can just use my own magics to set you free.
Why would I let you take away my free will when I want my free will back? You are not very convincing, little Skoll.
I would be a gentler master than Golgamash, was it? Gamash? Go? Which one summoned you? Anyway, I can promise to be a fairer master.
Right. Well, What kind of body would you even want? Lyri kind of scratches her head.
I was an orc in life. That could work.
There's an orc in the fighting pits. Do you want me to give you to them?
If there was a way for an inanimate object to nod, you almost hear that it would nod, and it would say, well, there you go, now you're thinking clearly.
And in fact, I have to go to the fighting pits today to feed the prisoners, so...
Well, you'd best not disobey your master, then.
Lyri nods and will quickly put the skull in her bag and go to...
Oh, you're taking the skull with you?
Yeah. I mean, she can't bring an orc here, so she's gonna bring the skull with her. So she's gonna not follow Benjamin's compel, take my fate point.
Well, your fate point goes away. It doesn't... It isn't given to Benjamin.
Oh, yeah, I know. Just, get rid of it. It's no use.
Okay. You now have the skull of Garuk in your bag as you hear it in your mind chuckle.
Don't sound too amused.
Where did you come from, by the way, demon elf? If you get dismissed, I wonder where we'll end up at.
Outland.
What's that?
It used to be this place called... Lyri kind of racks her head for a second. Draenor. I think I've heard ogres mention it before.
Wait, why is it not called Draenor anymore?
Because it was destroyed or something. It's falling apart.
You hear silence from the skull, and then, after a while, manic laughter.
Okay, Skoll. Lyri kind of says to herself as she keeps walking towards the fighting pit.
Who was it? I bet it was Gorefiend, right? Maybe one of your alliance mages did it?
Lyri kind of sighs and racks her head. Sure. Go. I don't know anything about what actually happened there. I've been there, and it's something.
I can imagine. Well, perhaps I'll come to see it myself one day.
Lyri kind of gives a figurative nod of her head to the skull. And wait, Lyri will go to Lyri will go to the fighting pit first.
You are immediately assaulted by the stench of a decomposing ogre. And actually, there's blood everywhere, but only one dead ogre.
Well, this is a merry sight.
Ah, yes, things turned violent. Heard it was your fault. Lyri, right?
Similarly, but sure.
All elf names sound the same.
Right. My name is quite beautiful. I think you should respect it more.
Do you know what Garuk means in Orcish?
Do you know what Sinlari means in Thalassian?
Frankly, no.
Well, what do you think my answer will be?
Incompetent fool?
No, I meant what did I think your name would be, not Never mind. Lyri kind of like face bombs.
Above what, that might have been my mistake, Teeironor's mistake.
Yeah, but it fits the Skoll. He's a bit aloof, from what I can tell.
Sure. It chuckles and says, well, perhaps you hear it, you understand my name soon enough if I don't have any other bodies to take over.
Wonderful. Alright. Lyri will look to the fighting pit and see the big, dead, decaying ogre.
And you feel compelled to clean it up.
Lyri will clean it up, whatever that entails. I don't know, like, does she have like a mop or something, or does she just drag it?
You do not have like a mop or any utensils whatsoever, so how do you clean it up?
Well, from what I remember of Benjamin taking my daggers and then burning a hole through his coat, I'm going to use my daggers to kind of heat up and melt the ogre as I cut it into little pieces to move around.
That will take a very long while, and it might create
Oh.
an even bigger mess. Up to you if you want to do that.
Lyri kind of starts trying to do it and then realizes she's not strong enough, like enough to cut through a bone, so she kind of steps back a second and just like lights on fire. I don't know. She just burns it.
With your magic?
Yeah.
Give me a careful.
Okay. It's wonderful.
You do light it on fire, and well, since you haven't like taken the effort to like secure the body or anything, the part of the mound also catches on fire.
Lyri,
Specifically like the like leather bits that are encircling the actual fighting pit.
Lyri will take out her jacket and kind of like pat the fire down and try and make it go away.
All the while you hear the chuckle of Garuk in your mind. Can you give me another careful?
Sure.
You succeed somehow. You manage to keep the fire at bay, although the like leather bits are slightly singed, and you do feel compelled to clean them up somehow. But the corpse of Bakum burns up.
Lyri will kind of look at her jacket and give an unfortunate kind of sigh, seeing how it's been ruined, and she will go to get some food to feed the prisoners. Now, Skoll, if you see the orc prisoner in the prisoner bay, just point me in the direction.
The skull chuckles in your mind, but you still feel compelled to clean up the fighting pit. You've taken care of the corpse, but there's still blood everywhere.
Lyri will clean the blood up later. He said, no, you didn't give me a... You just have to do it in particular order.
True
I'll clean the
enough.
fighting pit back.
True enough.
That's what Lyri wants to see what the Skoll will do. Lyri will go to the fighting pit and... Not fighting pit, the storage area to get some food for the prisoners.
Yeah, once again you see that like there's no like sanitary conditions or anything like that here. Fresh meat is stored alongside spoiled meat. All sorts of things are like sat together. There's no concept of like refrigeration or anything. It's a big mess. No wonder the orc got sick.
Lyri will take out a bad piece of meat and, I guess, start dragging it over to the prisoners' quarters.
Hey, I hope you're not going to feed that to my future host.
I won't. I'll go back and feed them something a bit more nice.
Good, because otherwise I might not free you from your servitude.
Well, once you're freed, you can go get all the meat you want. They can't tell you what to do.
We'll see. I don't know if I'm strong enough to fight my way past the entire clan of ogres. We'll see.
I mean, you're able to talk for a Skoll. I feel like physical qualities aren't necessarily needed for you.
How much do you know about the nature of souls, dear demon elf?
Yeah, can we not?
Sure. Your choice.
Lyri just kind of continues walking.
Sure. But there's so much I could teach you. It's been a while since I've had an apprentice. You know, the one I've had before. I've heard they've made quite a name for themselves. Hiccup the Mighty. Ever heard of him? I'm sure he's shattered a few worlds by now. You haven't heard of that name above board.
Yeah, I don't even know that name. Yeah. Lyri will just kind of continue working. You know, you can wax philosophical after I do all this stuff. I really don't. Never mind.
Fine. Excuse me. It's the first time I had a proper companion for conversation in 2 years. Free?
No. It's fine. I'm not trying to blame you. I'm just trying to get you your body as fast as possible.
Oh, very well. Do you make your way to the prisoner quarters?
Yep.
You will see all of them like chained up. First of all, you will see this person who is like heavily beaten up. I'll say that much. And you will also see this lady who isn't so much beaten up, but rather extremely malnourished and in a lot more chains and like constantly struggling against its restraints. You'll finally see who the quote-unquote rock thing that was mentioned last session was. This creature. It like struggles against its restraints and tries to like attack you, but obviously is restrained.
Lyri kind of like, I guess, motions towards the orc. How'd you like that one? I'm sure of a few meals, maybe.
She's a day or two away from death. I need a better host.
Maybe that thing? Lyri kind of motions towards the truck.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. It looks like some kind of like troll, right? I mean, what else would it be?
Because of like the noise, you see the dwarf like look up and say, "Is that you, lass?"
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Where did you go?
I went back to the Netherstorm as commanded. Lyri kind of face palms.
Was that? Anyway, can you untie me or? Ooh, you see a very large bruise on its head. Oh, my head feels like my mother's anvil. Oh.
Well, Skoll, Lyri kind of says in her head, this dwarf seems to be in fighting shape. Maybe you could possess it until we leave and then move on to an orc?
I think I'm only able to do the possession once. The dwarf isn't unsuitable, but is it really the best option?
I mean, this area is controlled by dwarves, kind of, so maybe it'll be useful, but I mean, if you don't want to turn into a dwarf, I guess that's understandable. We could feed the orc some nice meat, but I mean, are you sure that would be sufficient?
No, it will probably die. Why are you just standing there, lass?
I'm talking to a skull.
What?
Trust me, it's a long story.
The orc makes a pain noise.
Yeah. Go on. Complain as well. You know, everyone's complaining at me. You know what? Have this. Or he just throws the slab of meat at the orc.
Buhd, do you speak Orcish?
I think we've established that Lyri can speak it, but not very well.
Do you hear the orc say, "Just grant me a warrior's death already"?
Lyri throws the meat of the orc as hard as possible to grant them a warrior's death.
Give me a forceful, I guess. You... the meat doesn't... It lands at the feet of the orc.
Loktaroga!
Why do
Death and glory, aren't you right?
you say in Orcish?
No, in common.
The dwarf says, "Why are you mocking her like that? We're in the same situation, lass. Oh, if I were clear of my chains, I could kick the arses of every last ogre here, but... Oh, man. Ooh.
Wait, Skoll, are you sure you don't want an ogre? I could just slip you in the pockets of an ogre and you'd be safe home. And they wouldn't even stop you from leaving.
It would have to be either the shaman of this clan or the two-headed ogre. None of the other ones are suitable for my intellect.
Well, Lyri kind of thinks, could I slip you into the robe of the two-headed ogre? I'm not sure if I would be able to.
You may, but it would have to be weakened first before I can take possession.
What?
I'm a Skoll. What are you expecting of me?
But, I mean, there's a perfectly good weakened person right there. You said you want someone strong but weak at the same time? What is this?
Well, it's momentarily incapacitated, not at death's door.
So you mean sleeping?
Yes, although I would prefer that its mental acuities also be temporarily weakened.
Would you want me to go to the shaman and put you in his pocket while he's sleeping?
That could be an option.
Well, where is the shaman?
You would know above board that you would find them at the lava pool, and they did not show up for yesterday's fight.
Okay. Lyri will...
You're still compelled to take care of the prisoners from Golgamash's orders.
Yeah. Lyri will think, you know what? These prisoners have had it rough. They need a nice toasted ham. So Lyri's gonna see if she could use that as a loophole to go roast some nice hams in the lava pit and potentially see if the shaman's there.
The loophole is acceptable above board.
So Lyri will go fetch another slab of meat and then go to the lava pit.
Before you go, the dwarf will yell, Lass, tell me my lover, alright?
Tell you your lover?
Tell me ma.
Oh, tell your ma you love... Listen, I'm gonna roast you some hams. I'll be back in a second.
Alright.
You know, I'm feeling really nonchalant now that I found you, Skoll. It's nice having a friend in this scenario. I've kind of been alone for a while.
Yes, I suppose it is. I've been on my lonesome for a few years myself. Way back in my day, you know, back when I tamed my first imp, above board it will start going off on an old person story, only with lots of warlock magics involved.
Lyri finds it strangely wholesome as she goes to fetch another meat and go to the lava pit.
As it talks of like slaughtering Draenei and helping pave the path of bones, it speaks with lots of nostalgia in its heart and like clearly like a yearning for the past, and it like laments its current situation of being a Skoll.
You know, my father was also someone who was quite accomplished in the military, you know. I mean, he didn't pave any paths, but he was good at fighting. Lyri says as she kind of is trying to lift up a big slab of meat.
Can you give me a forceful?
Sure.
It's very difficult. It'll take you a bit if you'd have to like drag it on the ground.
You know what? I'll just Lyri kind of like gets out the knife and her dagger and slices a tiny bit off.
The skull will reply to what you said. Oh, tell me more about your father. I had a child too once. Well, Gul'dan forced me to sacrifice her, but that's another story.
Oh, my father. Oh, he loved the arts. he was very, very fond of our entire family lineage. We used to have this big room filled with all the weapons and armaments of our ancestors. Very...
Warrior lineage, I take it, not magic.
Indeed.
Hmm.
He loved the arts. He even named me after a poem, that's... He was suddenly something where he kind of like scratches the top of our head.
Oh yes, I also remember once when I was ripping the soul of a human to shreds, it kept reciting poetry. Weirdest thing.
Crazy.
Yes, yes. Claimed it was a knight and it was a poem for a damsel or perhaps a gentleman. I don't remember. Anyway, it was the weirdest experience I've ever had ripping a soul to shreds. Do you know what happens when to a soul that's ripped to shreds? It's a bit harder for it to head to the afterlife, I tell you that much.
I could assume. Is Lyri at this pit of lava yet?
Sure. You can say that you can reach there. Above board lava is, well, very, very hot. But fiction often undersells how hot it is. Lyri, you've been on fire before. This is hotter than that.
Well,
as you walk in, you will see a lone ogre kneeling close to the pool as I put them on screen. Do you see them?
I see them. Hey, look, they even have a skill as well.
I don't want to be that guy, but Lyri hasn't met the shaman yet.
Well, first I'll see what the skill has to say about this scenario.
Like you're wondering to yourself what's with the shaman and you're asking for the skull's opinion, let's say? Oh, that one? Fool as all the other ogres keep speaking about some fire lord speaking in its brain.
Well, maybe if we cut its horn, it would give it, I don't know. Maybe it's... Listen, never mind. If I put you in this pocket and what would I need to do to make you possess it?
Knock it out, preferably.
Knock it out? Have you seen me?
Well, I was also frail once, but I studied under Gorfind and Gul'dan, and, well, now I'm a Skoll, but in life I was something.
Lyri kind of looks this guy up and down and sees if she can take him. I want to inspect, like, his aspects, I guess.
Sure, give me a moment to open their character sheet so I can give you, like, the difficulties, okay?
Okay.
Difficulty 2 for its high concept and its tertiary, and 4 for his trouble. High concept or tertiary, or if you want to spend a fate point, their trouble.
I'm gonna go for tertiary.
Its tertiary is perhaps banally called Fire and Fury.
Okay.
To represent its command over, his command rather, over flame magic and also his more reckless way of fighting.
Skoll, if you're so powerful, could you perhaps, I don't know, assist me in knocking this guy out? I'm not sure I'll be able to take him.
And how would I assist you? I can teach you a spell to rip his soul apart. I can instruct you how to summon summon fell flames to battle.
Just tell me how to knock him out. Can I just
I'm not the physical type, as you can tell.
Yeah, I'm not really one either. Can you just tell me how to do the full asleep spell. I don't know.
I don't know. Whack it over the head or something.
Well, cut its horn off. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, can you cut its horn off? You look like a
I know.
weakling.
I know an ogre whose horn was cut off, and I mean, it made him become dumb. So maybe it'll work on the ogre and make him go unconscious.
Oh, maybe. Do you have a way of doing it?
These daggers can cut through pretty much anything.
I feel like you need some concussive force as well, not just slicing off its horn. But what do I know? I'm just a skull.
Well, Lyri kind of thinks about it. I mean, I'm.
Can you give me a sneaky, but your stunt will not apply? Okay. Carry on.
Okay, it's ominous. +8 out of nowhere. You know what? I think this guy's a bit too much.
Huh? Why the sudden change of heart?
He's a massive ogre. I'm about to die. Look at me. I'm.
Well, dear elf demon, unless you've noticed, everyone here is a massive ogre.
Seems like a bit of an issue, huh?
Well, at least that one's more of the magical kind, not the bash you in the face kind.
I guess, but what if during the fight he were to knock you into the pit of lava? You'd be done for. This is risky.
True. You're right. Maybe it was a bad idea.
Are you sure you don't want to deal with... Lyri kind of like sets like a little fire in her hand and warms up the meat she fetched. I mean, are you sure that... Wouldn't the orc be fine? I mean, couldn't I... If you're so magical, couldn't you like cast a spell to heal them? Warlocks are like... They're...
If I were to inhabit the body of the orc, I estimate I'd need 3 or 4 living sacrifices to replenish the orc's strength. Now, given the fact that I will be taking over the body of an incredibly sickly person, I will be useless in combat, so I will not be able to secure those bodies to drain properly.
Well, that's just wonderful. Well, guess what? I'm a sickly person as well. I can't take down a massive ogre. Lyri kind of like starts walking back towards the prisoner's quarters.
You know, I'm half tempted to possess you right now.
I'm in worse case than the orc, you know. It's...
No, you're still standing, a few broken ribs, but nothing that some rest can't fix.
Right, some rest. I'm half tempted to throw you into the lava pit, so maybe watch your tongue. Lyri kind of takes the skull out and spins it around the finger.
Alright, you've made your point. Can I get another sneaky from you?
Sure. Oh no.
You hear from the lava pit the voice of an ogre say, "Approach."
Lyri kind of turns around. I'm on the orders of Golgamosh. I heated this thing up by the lava pools. I need to give it to the prisoners now.
You see Mog, the speaker of flame, the red ogre, staring at you with its one eye, and he raises a hand and says, "Approach."
I'm busy right now. Talk to Golgamosh if you have an issue. And Lyri will continue walking towards the prisoner's quarters. Yeah, that guy's scary. I'm glad we didn't mess with him.
Yeah, I agree, it's scary, and also it wasn't him speaking.
What? What do you mean it wasn't him?
I heard he communes with some Fire Lord or something. Scary stuff.
How did you know it was a Fire Lord?
I mean, that's what the other ogres say.
I know, but ogres are dumb.
Yeah, but what other source of information am I supposed to have?
Lyri kind of looks back around. Hey, you like a fire thing, or because
Approach.
I mean, if you're a fire thing, you can't really talk to Gilgamesh. So it'll change the whole dynamic. Lyri kind of like tries to explain that it needs to elaborate.
Approach.
I have business to attend to. Gilgamesh will be very upset if I can't do it. You know what? Why don't I give the prisoners some meat and then I'll approach?
It stares at you, not saying anything.
I'll take that as a yes. Lyri kind of continues walking with the meat in hand.
Well, I guess possessing that one is out of the question, given the fact that he's already possessed by something.
It seems. Maybe the dwarf. I mean, it's not great.
Let's keep that as a plan B.
What's plan A?
Yet to be determined. Well, no, I'd say the dwarf is plan C, you, my dear, are plan B, and let's see what plan A might be.
Right. Wonderful.
I promise I'll be gentler than good old Gilgamesh.
Yeah, the fact you said you can only possess people once makes me really think you don't want to give my body back.
Well, if I have at least a couple years of study, I'm sure I can research enough for me to transfer into an even more suitable body and give your consciousness back. Say what you will about me and the warlocks of my kind, but at the very least, I keep to my promises.
Right. Lyri will go to the prisoners' quarters, I guess, the mean.
Sure. You see, once again, the Trog reacts violently to your approach, struggling against its restraints. The orc is passed out, not having touched their meat, and the dwarf says, "Shut the hell up already. Lass, do you have an escape plan?"
I cannot disobey the orders of my master.
What's that even supposed to mean? You're not free, but you can walk freely. I'm sure there's something you can do.
Listen, I'm talking to a Skoll right now that will help me out, but they need a body to use, and
What?
there's no body around to be the body, so...
That's a body, points at York. I don't think she'll last much longer.
Yeah, I said as well, but the school is being picky about it.
Lass, are you feeling well? Well, did I hit you too hard? I'm sorry about that.
Listen, I want to get back to Silvermoon City. Do you think I want to stay in this place?
Do you think I want to stay in this place?
No.
Well, then what do we do?
Lyri hands over the piece of meat to the dwarf. I roasted it just for you. Hopefully that means it'll...
It's like
be less
charcoal.
bad.
It's charcoal.
Yeah.
It is you were near a pit of lava.
Is this edible?
It'll have to do, I guess. It's better than that thing, pointing at the worm-infested haunch of meat you threw at York.
Yeah, actually, Lyri kind of takes a skull and places it on York's lap. You two look kind of cute together. Are you sure?
What?
Lyri's kind of making hearts with her hands of the skull and York sitting together.
When you said that above board, I was sort of thinking that you were almost forcing them to kiss or something.
No. She's way too refined for that. She's just making heart shapes in her hands and making kissy faces at them, etc., etc.
Lass, I really don't think you're well mentally. That is. Me ma used to say that me pa also wasn't well mentally, but I don't know what happened to me pa, but I'm sure there's a way to fix you. We there's a couple priests at me camp, so if we get there, I'm sure they can fix you.
Listen, dwarf, look at this. Lyri takes out a dagger and tries to swing it at the shackles to prove that she cannot do it.
Yeah. You are unable to act against Golgamash, so the dagger stops inches from the shackles as the dwarf winces.
Wait a minute. Lyri kind of thinks, I need to try this out. I've been waiting for it for a while, and this is probably the best time. Lyri kind of takes off her shirt and ties it around her head.
Whoa, easy there, lass. Easy.
No. This is just wait. Now that Lyri can't see,
this isn't the time or place for that. And honestly, I'm more into lads than lasses.
Right. Thanks. Lyri just kind of shakes her head, and now that she can't see, she's gonna see if she can swing where she, just like a random direction where she thinks the shackles might be, to see if, not knowing where she's aiming will affect if she can strike or not.
Give me a careful. You strike and you feel the dagger hit against something, namely rock. You've hit the wall.
Lyri kind of...
What are you doing, lass? You get the intention of the entire tribe.
Fine. Lyri, kind of knowing that it's a super hot dagger, will just kind of like idly press it against things to see if she can find, the shackles without intending to find them, I guess.
Give me a careful. You, with that roll, after a while of just like poking around gently, you eventually hear the voice of the dwarf. You're too close, lass. And you hear him like right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, lass? Above board, you have successfully found the dwarf, but not the shackles.
I'm trying to see if I can blind myself to rid myself of intention. You wouldn't understand.
You're right, I wouldn't understand. It's a dumb plan. You hear the Skoll in your mind.
Well, if I just blind myself and then turn myself into a flurry of strikes and accidentally hit the ogre, then maybe they'll want to kill me and free me from this.
I think Lyri should gouge your eyes out with the daggers.
No.
The Skoll will say, then they'll just kill you. You're not a demon, so you won't reform. And besides, even if you were to reform, the contract would still stand.
Well, no, because if the ogre tries to attack me, then the contract would break.
Golgamash is all the way on the other side of the mound. If you'll be heard, it won't be by Golgamash, it'll be by the other ogres.
What are you talking about?
Fine, if you want to kill yourself... Well, actually, I'd rather you not kill yourself. You're the only chance I have of getting the hell out of here.
How about I try my plan and then I'll come back to fetch you, huh?
Lass, you're kind of scaring me.
Lyri will take the shirt off her head and, I guess...
The dwarf looks very concerned.
Well, I don't think I was meant to be able to do that. That was kind of against what I was told to do, but, I still kind of did it, I guess. Lyri shrugs. So maybe it'll work.
Do you want me to tell you the other ways you can break the contract?
Well, I was going to try giving it a piece of meat with my jacket underneath it and have them take the jacket and the meat, but I guess that also would be helpful.
Oh, you think it's a classical contract? The one Gul'dan used to make, or whatever you elf warlocks do. This is an ogre contract.
And what are the terms of the contract? I'm your only ticket out of here. If I die trying to get rid of this contract, then we're both doomed. So...
Fine. There's multiple ways to get out of the contract. The Warlock can annul the contract. You have to be more powerful than the Warlock, which you're not, magically speaking. You can also get out of the contract temporarily, at least, if you are banished by another Warlock. Above board, this is stuff you already know. Or if the Warlock breaks the rules of the contract. For one, as you already know, the Warlock cannot take hostile action against you. Now, ordinarily, under typical contracts, the Warlock cannot accept a gift from you, or if you're not their intended summon, which I'm guessing you're not, the contract will annul as well. But this is a special contract, don't you think? Now, what do you think the special conditions are, dear apprentice?
I can't ever be freed. Lyri kind of gets tears in her eyes.
Every contract has its loopholes, unfortunately. No. So, the Warlock cannot take hostile action against you. That is a universal condition. Intentional hostile action, I should add. Typically, you cannot give a gift. Well, the Warlock cannot accept a gift from you. It's reversed with Ogre contracts. You cannot receive a gift from the Warlock.
What if I take something from the Warlock?
It's not a gift then, and you're not allowed to act against him anyway. There's also another condition. In the case of this Ogre contract, if the demon were to win the Warlock's genuine admiration, the contract would be broken. Ogres are funny. If they think that someone that's stronger than them is in their actual service, it's a bit of a logical contradiction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they don't like me at all. Like, they hate me actually, Skoll. So I just get them to try and kill me, right?
You will die if you do that.
I'd rather die fighting than rot in a cave.
Oh, the Loktarogar types, la-di-da, seen enough of you use.
No Loktarogar. It's basic common sense, I think.
Lass, why are you just standing there?
Listen, I'm talking to a Skoll. Can you just be quiet?
Lass, I think you're insane.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. No, just let me talk to the Skoll. Stop bothering me.
The door shuts up. The Skoll says, "You youths these days are all muscle and charging in headlong. No respect for your elders, no respect for proper magic."
Well, speaking of proper magic, if I were to perhaps cause some kind of unintentional catastrophe that harms the ogre, what would happen? Would that be counted as me taking hostile action against him? Would he get upset about that? I don't know.
Yes, it would. You say unintentionally, but you'd be surprised how intentional things can be. It's surprisingly easy not to kill someone.
You sure?
Yes, I've flayed countless souls without actually killing the subject, I know.
Well, I mean, I just happen to just accidentally kill everyone I meet, so it's...
Nice track record, I guess.
Uh-huh. Well, anyways, Skoll, do you want me to pick you up, or are you happy sitting there?
I'd like to be picked up, please.
You will be picked up. Lyri kind of picks up the Skoll and throws in that bag.
This is comfier than the pile.
Right. Well, just remind me to take you out anytime I sleep or get knocked out or someone else possesses my mind, etc., etc.
I'll be sure to remind you. You can
Thanks.
sense the sarcasm.
Thanks.
Above board, your orders were from Gamash specifically: clean the fighting pit, take care of the prisoner, then come back to me, if you remember.
Well, you know what? Lyri kind of looks at the trog thing. She knows what it is.
It gnaws at you.
She splits the orc's food in half and then throws the other half to the trog.
It's chained up, but it like forcefully tries to lean down to eat in like a very savage manner.
Yeah, I'm not going back to
disgusting,
feed more.
says the dwarf.
Yeah, I know. Like, is this like a troll or something? It's nasty.
Trog. Ugh, plenty of those in Cosmodon infesting all the mountains.
A troll in Casmodan?
Troglass.
Troglass. I never heard of this before. Alright. I'll be on the lookout.
Well, you know where to find me, I guess.
Lyri kind of goes to the fighting pit and there's blood everywhere, right?
Yep.
I can't expend too much energy here. Lyri kind of looks at the blood. Do you think they'd mind if I had some? I'm really thirsty.
The Skoll is so... You can feel the Skoll's shock and its hesitation to reply. Didn't figure you were that type.
Well, I don't think I have the energy to conjure food, and I'd rather not drink or eat anything these ogres make.
Right, so you'd rather drink their insides.
Lyri just kind of shrugs. I mean,
it's your choice. For my sake, it will drastically diminish the value of your body.
It's fresh. Everything in here is probably stagnant and still.
You are your own master. Well,
Lyri will kind of give it a taste.
Oh, it tastes awful. Like it's like it tastes irony like blood, but it also tastes rotten.
Lyri will just continue to consume until her thirst has been quenched a tiny bit.
Give me a forceful to see if you manage to keep it down.
Oh no.
After like a gulp or two, you immediately feel the urge to vomit.
Lyri will go back to the prisoner's quarters and vomit on the truck.
Oh, that's nasty, but I think it deserved it. The trog tries to kick the shit out of you, but it obviously can't.
It's better here with a troglodyte than outside where I'll be forced to clean it up.
Oh, but it smells now.
It didn't smell already?
Oh, fair point.
I think I freshened up the place. So,
Right.
Alright, when I free myself, I'll make sure to make a note of coming back for you.
Thank you. You can just free me and I can kill all the ogres here. I'm strong enough.
Well, I'm not allowed to free you. I mean, Skoll, tell me, any ideas how I could free this little guy?
If your master orders you to, or if it would clearly be in his best interest for this fellow to be freed?
I mean, you know, he'd probably get killed, and these people seem like they really need some entertainment. I mean, they had a bad day, right?
Right.
I'm guessing that won't work.
No.
Wonderful. Well, Dwarf, I will free you someday. Bye. Lyri kind of walks out into the fighting pit again.
The dwarf just like stares at you in absolute bewilderment.
How am I going to clean this blood up, Skoll?
Do I look like a janitor?
I could try burning it, but I don't think blood catches fire.
No, not particularly, unless it's
Wait a minute! I promised to talk to the ogre guy. right? The fire guy, the shaman.
Why are you asking me?
Because I'm lonely.
I don't believe you were ordered to do so, but as long
Right,
as
I
it
mean-
doesn't contradict your order and doesn't delay it unnecessarily, I imagine it's fine.
I mean, the more people help him clean it up, the faster he gets clean up. You know, I'll go ask him for some help. I mean, if he's a master of fire, he could probably like make all the blood evaporate, right?
I think sooner he'd make you evaporate, but do as you will.
Right. Okay. Lyri takes off her jacket and kind of uses it to mop up the blood and like soak up the blood.
It's unpleasant, but it gets the job done.
All right. Well, Lyri kind of walks towards the lava pit and throws her jacket in to the lava.
You see the Mog staring at you.
Oh, hi. Just doing my duties. If you want to talk to me, you should go talk to Gamash.
Stares at you.
Oh shit! Lyri kind of like double checks to make sure the skull isn't showing. So she like checks the bag shut. Oh, thank God. You know, I'd be in real trouble if they caught me with you in my backpack.
Do you say that or think that?
Think that.
I agree.
Well, hey, Olga. Fire. Do you have anything to say?
Do you wish to rid yourself of your servitude?
Is the ogre saying that?
Yep.
Sure.
I can shatter your bonds for a price.
And what price would that be, good sir?
Oh, here we go again, says the Skoll. The shaman will say, become the servant of the Fire Lord, or provide a suitable replacement.
I have a skull.
No, you don't, says the Skoll.
I mean, in my head. Lyri kind of points the head and like taps it against the side of her head.
Mog stares at you.
I have a brain in that skull, but I don't think I'm smart enough to be the Fire Lord's puppet thing. I mean, there's an orc about to. I mean, there's a perfectly healthy orc in the prisoners' chambers. Do you want me to give them to you to be the next fire person?
Stares at you.
I'm guessing that's a no. I mean, what kind of candidate are you looking for?
Suitable replacement, mortal. Someone that can replace this, points at himself.
What would I have to do? Just bring an ogre to you?
Powerful enough ogre.
Right, and the only powerful ogres are the Golgamash, my master, who I will not allow to be corrupted into a Fire Lord filth.
The Skoll says in your mind, this conversation is pointless. Do you really want to be the thrall of an elemental?
You know, I'd rather not be told by a million different people that I need to go kill the one guy who's able to control my every single whim. It's really nice, you know.
I never said that you should kill him.
Yeah, just knock him out somehow, but I can't act against him, yeah.
Mog stares at you.
I mean, where even is this contract? I'm tethered to him, but I don't know where. Is there like a physical place where I can go to not be tethered anymore? I'm only tethered in this location. Does that mean if I leave, I will be free no matter what?
No, you are technically bound to each other's souls. The only way for, say, him to be unable to summon you is if you were restricted somehow, say in a magical field that would prevent teleportation, for instance.
Right. Okay. Would that work if I set one up here? Would he not be able to command me anymore? Would I be able to temporarily have free will and control?
It's possible, though I don't believe it's ever been done.
And what would I need to make this field? It's just a spell, I presume?
It is a spell, and one I know that you can cast on yourself, but the one that I know is... I don't think it would work in this circumstance. It's more to prevent, say, a fireball hitting you in the face.
Right. Could I not make counterspell him and control him and make him my minion?
I believe some of your human mages or elven mages have constructed such interdiction fields in the past.
Great. Well, I should probably report back to him. Lyri kind of is talking to him while she's walking back to Gilgamesh.
Mark has just been staring at you without saying anything, by the way.
Yeah, and Lyri just walked away from this guy. No point.
Do you return to Gilgamesh?
Yes.
Okay. You find it. You find the two heads once again talking to each other, and Go says, "And I keep telling you that you should bet on the rock thing, brother. For the last time, the orc shows potential. The orc shows potential. Oh, you're back."
Good evening, sir. Sirs. The pits have been cleaned. The prisons have been fed.
Very good. See you tomorrow then.
Can I sleep here, please?
You see Gamash starting to unsummon you.
No. Can I please sleep here? It's really cold and there's dangerous people around where I was before, and you'll be able to serve me again.
6.
Please. I'll feed more prisoners. I'll do more chores.
10.
No, please.
You are now unsummoned. With the skull in your possession, though.
What an asshole.
Okay. With the skull in your possession, you will once again find yourself back in the Nether Storm.
For fuck's sake, we're back here!
Oh, this place is something.
Yeah, this is Draenor. You know what? I'm tired of this. Larry just kind of paces around.
Calm, apprentice. All bonds can be broken. For the moment, you are free.
Wait a minute. No. I could get you a body here. People here might be a bit more meager, but how would I get back to the Badlands? I'm out of arcane powder.
I definitely agree with the proposal of providing me with a body here.
Don't do that, but could you perhaps whisk me away to the Badlands, or perhaps you're an old orc, right? You've been through some wars. Do you know Lordaeron? You're kind of like...
Yes, I do. I've been at the siege.
Could you, if I give you a body, maybe take me to Lordaeron?
Perhaps.
It's a deal then.
It is a deal then. What do you guys think? Should we end the session here, or should we check up on Benjamin and Bladebeard? Up to you guys.
I'd say check in on Benjamin and Bladebeard a little bit. I just meet out.
Yeah.
Thompshire and DoomGoblin?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, just take that away.
Yeah. As the hours pass, you are... Satea successfully teaches you, Benjamin, the sending spell, which above board is a Dungeons and Dragons spell that allows you to communicate with someone you know by sending them a 25-word message, and they can reply back in 25 words.
Really? This is really useful. Huh. Okay.
It has to be someone that you know, that you've met.
So, can I literally just message Khadgar at any point?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Wait, you can message me?
Yep.
That's cool. I can't reply though, I just have to leave them on red.
No, you can. It has to be, the reply has to be instant and limited to 25 words, but yeah, you can reply.
Oh wow. So I don't even need to know this spell to be able to reply back?
Yep.
Wow, that's really useful for Benjamin.
Yep. You will see the dragon approach you and say, "Well, elf, the lighter colored one, who's also accompanied by another guardian."
Well, I have learned the spell, so I just have to send a message.
Above board, usually sending works like telepathically, but I will say, just because otherwise it will be useless in this circumstance, I will say that Satya probably taught you a way to like
Text-to-speech?
yes, pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And also in like Kyrie's voice, not yours, etc., etc.
How many words did you mention?
25.
Okay. I need a moment to type this out, sorry.
Sure. What's Bladebeard doing while this is happening?
I don't know. I don't know. What is there to do?
You are currently like restricted to a fairly small area, like you can't wander very much. Not much in that area, other than Benjamin, Satya, and the Blood Oath.
Dragons?
Yeah, you are surrounded by 2 dragons.
Oh yeah. Is the main dragon here?
Yes,
Hey, Queen Dragon.
I am
What's
no
your name
queen.
again? Oh, what was your name again? I don't believe you said it.
I am Miris.
Mirix.
Miris.
Miris. Alright. So, does this world have any oceans and seas? Or is everything just floating rocks?
Not anymore. Orcs
Yeah.
destroy world. Now elves threaten to destroy world. You threaten to destroy world.
No, I do not, but yeah, this world sucks. Azeroth is much better.
She does not say anything.
Okay, I've got a message.
Sure.
Should I type it out or should I say it out loud?
Say it out loud, please.
Okay, here I go. Benjamin here, we're in trouble. Nether dragons say we are evil elves and want to kill us. Any words in our defense?
You're lucky that I don't count us as words.
I counted, it's like 22 or 23.
Okay. You hear a reply. Wow, Benjamin, you learned the sending spell? Impressive. I've never dealt with them. I am a blue dragon. I safeguard magic. Heard Tiri talked to... Message cuts off.
And then I'm the amateur in the sending spell. Okay.
Do you relate that to the dragons?
Yeah.
Okay, that will earn you a bunch of big points in this makeshift trial, as the 2 dragons, because there's only 2 left at this point guarding you guys, will look at each other, and the sort of head dragon will say something in Draconic to the other one, and the other one lifts off. And the head dragon turns back to you guys and says, I've given orders to summon the Buhd. Must discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Perhaps you are to be trusted, perhaps not. Remains to be seen. Oh, for the love of the Fel, can we get this over with? Says the Blood Oath. We will get over with when established innocence, Blood Oath. The Blood Oath rolls their eyes. Sateo will say to you, Benjamin, why is she being so confrontational?
I don't know. I guess blood elves tend to be like that.
Have you known many Blood Oaths?
A couple, I guess. There was this one in Buhd Bay. She was a bit confrontational, to be honest.
Right. I suppose is it a good spot you guys think to end today's session?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts on today's session?
I almost died again.
Yeah.
You did
We are
almost die again.
losing on all fronts.
I got a skull.
Wow.
Every time you said
That's
Skoll,
pretty
I was
cool.
like, I thought you were talking about me, so like it was really hard for me to like not peek up and go like, what? What's going on? Huh?
I'm sorry, skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lyri, you did get a skull. Congratulations.
See, we're not all losing. That's what they call a common Lyri W.
Also,
Oh no, I still think you should crush it and turn it into a demon, but okay.
Also, who says that Benjamin and Bladebeard are losing?
I mean, Bladebeard's still pantless, so I think he's losing.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna be pantless for a while.
I don't think dragons are aware of those conventions, so it's fine.
Yeah, they don't wear clothes.
I will say that it's probably one of the main reasons the Blood Oath has been keeping their distance from you, I guess.
Yeah, it's fair.
Other than the fact that she's an asshole.
He's gonna need to get new pants now.
Oh, yeah.
And boots, but you know.
Yeah.
Or you could just say it like this.
Oh, I forgot that pants also means something else in the UK. Fun stuff.
I assumed they meant the US version.
Yeah, the trousers, that's what I meant.
Yeah. He's not actually flashing just yet.
Yep, not
He's got his undergarments out.
unless DoomGoblin wants to.
Oh no.
No.
He doesn't want to be. He's in his whitey tighties.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought
don't
it'd
know
be
why.
very white, considering that, but okay.
Oh.
Is Bladebeard a briefs man, a boxers man?
I don't know. Boxers, I guess.
Sure.
Well, like
And-
the ones with, like hearts on them or whatever. Pink little
Yeah.
hearts.
Cartoonish, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing
awesome.
like he has like little blades on his underwear.
Yeah, maybe
Custom
like
made.
maybe black with like skulls and crossbones.
Oh, 'cause you're a pirate.
Did your mom make that for you?
I don't know. Probably not.
I'm just picturing like Bladebeard being like, "Hey, turn our flag into my underwear." What, sir? Just do it.
Maybe. Who knows? Interesting point of backstory, I guess. My favorite part of the session was Buhd, like, when you rolled on the random encounter and it wound up to be Lyri, but you rolled to see Lyri just as she was about to get whisked away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think both characters were so out of it that nothing really came of it that was engaging.
Yeah. Now you think you are haunted, which for all intents and purposes means that you are pretty much haunted, except magically, I guess. So, I have a lot of fun thinking up of stuff to haunt you, I guess.
Yeah, I'm haunted, but I'm alive.
Mm-hmm. Also, Lyri, Zelris, Gamash said, yeah, I'll summon you back tomorrow. currently it's like close to midnight, so you have time before your next summon at the very least.
Yeah.
So that's something. Now you also have the Skoll for an old orc warlock. That's always fun and always winds up well for the people carrying the skull.
And Lyri finally has something she can actually do into the way.
Yep.
She can go knock someone out and give them the skull.
Someone the skull deems suitable at the very least.
I mean, considering the fact that everyone here has been kicking my ass, I feel like there's a lot of suitable people.
I will say Benjamin, Bladebeard, and Buhd would be considered suitable.
Yeah, I was considering.
Guess we'll see. But what did you guys think of the session as well?
Fun?
I hope Buhd gets to the dome and doesn't have to do another Fel Reaver run again in the next session.
And I guess I gotta say the dragons were more understanding than I was expecting. Well,
more or less. I mean, they still think you're elves and evil at that.
yeah, they're a little racist, but you know.
Sure. Yeah. Perhaps for good reason though. And Skoll, bold of you to assume that the dome will necessarily be safer.
I had a feeling it's not safe considering the Blood Elf was like, you should go over there. But Buhd doesn't know that.
I mean, to be fair, like, you guys will notice that his mission was to, like, keep people away from the Mana Forge. The Echo Dome is in the opposite direction, so of course he wouldn't want you to go to the Mana Forge.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, if the dome turns out to be hostile...
I'm just glad that Dressius is alive. Look at him, there he is.
Aren't you glad that Myrna's alive too?
She was a bit of a bitch, but I guess also. She was the one who caused the trouble to begin with because she wouldn't get rid of a Void Walker, so...
I'm sure she would find a reason to blame you as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I do find it
give
funny.
her the skull, I don't know, I don't care. She can see and have my skull.
I think it's pretty funny that Buhd encountered both Lyri and the other elf while he was just, trying to run away from Fel Reaver.
I cannot believe that happened for like the third time.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't happen in the next session because I'm gonna cry if it does.
It's like a weekly thing.
I really don't think Buhd can withstand another chase from a Fel Reaver.
No, but think about this. If we get the party back, maybe we'll be able to kill the Fel Reaver and we won't have to worry about it anymore.
Never
Yeah,
say
let's definitely do
never.
that.
Never
I don't
say
want to kill
never.
it, I want to allocate.
We can open the cards until we get something that will explode it. Of course, someone would have to be the sacrifice to get exploded with the cards, but it's neither here nor there.
Something to think about, I guess.
I voted Bladebeard, but
Also, like, as you guys know, there's multiple like factions in the Netherstorm. More or less, they're all hostile to one another. More or less. Maybe you can push it in one direction or another.
That's what we are trying, right? To get dragons to help us.
Sure.
But I get the idea that maybe they're gonna judge us, and if we are worthy, they're just gonna leave us alone and not help us. But we'll see.
I will say at this sort of makeshift trial, you've earned some pluses, but also a lot of minuses.
yeah, I feel like you guys are just gonna have to cope and see for these dragons even. They seem a bit judgy, I don't know.
They very much are. But I mean, there's also elves, there's also demons, potentially. There's apparently Shatraf City people nearby somewhere.
Yeah,
I can't believe none of us have met the Satrap City people. It's insane.
We should join the Fel Reaver. He's obviously the strongest one here. And we should be on his side.
I mean, luring him towards the ethereal planes, maybe not such a bad idea. He doesn't completely demolish us then.
True, although you do not know where the ethereal place is.
once we find it, we could just, find out the guy who's like controlling the Fel Reaver and make him go over there. Take his own Xbox controller and walk over. That'd be so cool.
Something to think about, I guess. Well, I will say that, like, I have all my options open. Like, hypothetically, if you guys manage to, like, befriend the Burning Legion or something, yeah, I'm cool with it. If you guys want to, like, befriend the Ethereals, that's also fine. I'm cool with it. If you want to, like, go hostile towards the elves or the dragons, fine, we'll go with it. Like, I'm open for you guys to be friendly or hostile to any and all of the factions here.
I feel like it'd be pretty hard to be friends with the Ethereals. They just like attack on sight. It's scary.
They will attack you on sight, definitely, but Bladebeard.
Why me? Do they have like a bounty out on me? Oh, Bladebeard did say I was in Netherstorm with a communication device, so they would know I'm here, wouldn't they?
Also that, and like, they do have something against you, because you stole from them, but honestly, the main reason the Ethereals attacked you was because you're a Blood Oath.
That makes sense.
But Bladebeard, you do have an in with them? You do have your communication device on you?
Yeah, I do.
And the next...
If Buhd knew there were ogres in Blade Edge, I would have had Buhd try to go to Blade Edge and recruit them. That could have been fun.
I think you do know. I think Tamal told you.
More ogres to
Does
get
he?
caught by Ethereals.
Well, he doesn't know where Blade Edge is, so.
Also true.
I mean, if he could, just fly, then maybe he'd be okay, but...
I'm just picturing Buhd growing wings.
Like little cherub wings.
Like little tiny Cupid wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to find a Red Bull. What was I? Yeah. I think, yeah, you definitely know that there are a lot of ogres on Outland. You maybe don't know where, but you do know that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that you're so open to abandoning your ogres, though.
Oh, I said recruiting those ogres to save his. That's what I was saying.
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, why people in danger, help people,
That should be a
But
roll on the dice. It just like makes an army of robo ogres attack Buhd forever. That'd be a good
Oh
one.
my god.
We'll see. I suppose. I obviously have not revealed all the possible random
But
encounters.
why can't we have, like, a sandwich floats over to Buhd and Buhd eats it, Like, why is it always gotta be bad things?
To be fair, I've only had bad ones as well, so you know what?
I've had 2 Fel Reavers in a row, please.
I sympathize because I had Ethereals like 3 times in a row, so
I get it. Just let Buhd get a flying sandwich. That's all I ask.
It's actually kind of somewhat frustrating that the random encounters have wound up being more or less the same when there's a lot of them, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have had them be like a once an occurrence per character thing, but I'm only saying that because of dang Fel Reavers.
I mean, the Fel Reaver is still on patrol. Like, you haven't stopped it.
I know. I just want it to leave me alone, though.
Wait, if we kill one of these random encounters, they go away forever?
If you kill, like, the Fel Reaver, then yeah. Well, more, maybe. There's a Legion camp that probably has more of them. But it'll probably go away. If you, like, kill a Voidwalker, no, it will not go away. As you've just seen, another Voidwalker showed up.
But, like, anyone who has, like, a name, if I kill them, do they stay dead?
Yeah, Dracius will not come back if you kill him, for instance.
And that nasty ethereal guy, Retriever Sarik, if I kill him, he won't come back, will he? They'll have to pull someone else out to go chase after me.
I will say that Retriever Sarik is one of the bosses for when and if you guys reach the Ethereal staging grounds. So if you do kill him, yeah, he'll obviously be not there to hold the line at the actual staging grounds, but he's not the only boss that can go out
Holy
hunting.
shit. I'm so glad I'm gonna try and fight him. Oh my god. He's a boss. Scary.
Not final boss, but he is a boss.
I think Lyri can deal with like normal people sometimes badly, but bosses, no way in hell.
I mean, Lyri did beat a boss before, like single-handedly.
Oh yeah, the warlock? I guess I did.
Emilia, yeah.
That was because I was smart about it though. This guy, I don't think I can cut his arm off, you know, because he doesn't really have arms.
Never say never, I guess. We'll see what happens. But yeah, as I mentioned, I also added a few more possible random encounters with the portal midair leading somewhere. That's definitely drawn a few creatures.
We should just keep opening portals to make it so random that the Far Reaper will never ever show up again.
Yeah, let's keep opening portals in Outland. Nothing bad ever happened.
Well, I think it's a valid strategy.
Let's curate like 2 Outlands by making a bunch of portals in current Outland. That sounds like a great idea.
It's kind of funny that like the dragons accuse like Bladebeard and Benjamin of like being elves who want to cause like another explosion of Draenor kind of incident, while Bladebeard does the exact thing that caused the explosion of Draenor.
Mm-hmm.
Typical Bladebeard.
Yeah. Fun stuff. I also have a good thing on things. Okay. Any other thoughts for our viewers before we go into our shoutouts?
I don't think so.
Okay. If not, then, dear viewers, thank you once again for watching and listening to us. Let's see what these people are up to. The dice say that we should start with the Fell River favorite, I suppose. Good old Skoll Shorties. Can you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you are doing?
Yep, I am the Fell Reaper favorite. Yeah, so, I recently, well, by the time that this is out and about, it'll be already posted, I guess, but I finished the first episode of my Machinima series. It's out, and, you can enjoy it. And, in the meantime, I will be working on, some lore videos again, and, eventually more Machinimas and all other stuff, which you can find on YouTube, and you can also find me on Twitter. I do all the WoW stuff, and I will still do WoW stuff. And yeah, that's what you can expect from me. It's all turning out really good.
Nice. Thank you very much, Skoll. Next, according to the dice, would be the owner of the channel you all are watching this on, Sir Thompshire. Can you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you're doing?
Sure. You can find me here on my channel or on Twitter, where I post renders and behind-the-scenes stuff. And yeah, that's sort of it. Maybe working on a machinima, who knows? Maybe. I've been saying this for ages, but yeah, that's it.
Nice. Thank you very much, Thompshire. Next, according to the dice, we would have Zelris. Can you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you are doing?
I'm Zelris. I make stuff on Twitter and YouTube about World of Warcraft and other things, and you can check it out if you want to. Yeah, I make stuff, and that's about it.
That she does, and thank you very much, Zelris. And next, we would have DoomGoblin. Can you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you are doing?
Yeah. Hi. It's me, DoomGoblin. I draw stuff. I don't really plan too much ahead, so I have no idea what I'm gonna be doing, but yeah, I'll probably draw something.
Oh yeah, by the time this airs, like, what's the word? Smogust? What's the word?
Smallest, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be over. So
Yeah, that's over.
but do check DoomGoblin's drawings out. He drew every day for an entire month, which is crazy. Thank you very much, DoomGoblin. And I was your Dungeon Master, Game Master Teeironor. I do this series, which is a lot of fun, and another series set in a homebrew universe called Legacy of the Rimland with a different bunch of lovely people that is also a ton of fun. They've attracted the wrath of a literal god, so we'll see what happens there. But other than that, thank you once again, dear viewers, for watching and listening to us. We will be back next week, most likely on my channel actually, and we will see you all there. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
See you.
See ya.